Welcome to the Hudson Valley Disc Golf Podcast. This week's episode is sponsored by, I didn't pick out a Patreon member this week, but basically if you're a Patreon member and you haven't been on the podcast, feel free to message me if you want to get on here, because I fear rejection, so I don't ask people. You know, some people like to come on, some don't, so if you do, let me know. We got a lot of stuff upcoming and a lot to recap. To help me do that, we have Alex, Corey, Randy, Tim, Evan, Jaimen, and we've got Branden Cline this week. Cline, as the kids will say. Yesterday, the time changed. I woke up thinking I had 11 hours of sleep, but alas, it was only 10. That's the bad news. The good news is we got a lot of events and leagues coming up. I'll go over the ones I know, and you guys let me know if I miss any. This weekend, Sunday, Skylines is doing their tags. I believe they're doing that at Warwick, probably Silver if I had to guess. Few events that we've talked about. Discap presents the Blatnick Breeze 9, driven by Innova. That's Saturday, March 28th. 44 out of 72. So if you haven't signed up and you're planning on it, don't fear the breeze.
Tim Goyette.
Don't threaten me, Evan. Don't threaten me.
Did you decide yet?
Actually, I got approval like 10 minutes ago from the wife that I can do it because there was something on the calendar that is movable. So I will be signing up later.
But are you doing Fool's Fest?
No, I'm not doing Fool's Fest.
It's a different weekend, isn't it?
I was thinking of doing Pro.
Yeah, if you did Pro, you'd have to decide because they are the same weekend, right? The 28th and 29th.
Right.
Yeah, you were talking about maybe playing MP40, right?
Well, no, they don't do. I was thinking about playing MPO, to be honest with you.
Sick. Do that.
Yeah. No.
I mean, the guy's only been nagging you about going to the Blatnick Breeze for 2 weeks. But no, now change your mind and...
I know, right? Now, no, change your mind. Go do something else.
Mixed signals.
I'm for that. Go do something else. We don't like.
Are you playing, Branden?
Unfortunately,
but you don't like it.
It's just the worst condition. It's really not even that course's fault. It's just guaranteed to always have the worst conditions for any turn of the year.
I don't know. There's a few that I think you go in expecting the worst and being pleasantly surprised if it doesn't happen. Mighty Gaw is a perfect example.
That's not the Blatnick Breeze.
Well, in Mighty Gaw, you kind of expect it to be wet, and if it's not, that's great. And even if it's not, it's still wet.
Is Mighty Gaw at Kisco?
No, it's at Camp Gaw. It's in Jersey, Mawa.
Okay, gotcha. You say these tournaments, and I know relatively what's going on, but the specific courses I always go over.
That's cool. Better to ask. You guys mentioned it, the Fool's Fest. Same weekend for pros as Blatnick Breeze. Looks like 126 players signed up for pro. They could probably fit 144, I'd be guessing. So there's still some spots there. Then the next weekend, you got the AM divisions, which looks like 89 out of 144. So still plenty of seats available at the Fool's Fest. That's the first weekend in April. April 3rd is the first Discap Flex at Thatcher. Last I checked, it was in the 70s. 81 players. What's the limit for tee starts? Is there a number that you can...
I think it's just a range, right? I think it's 11 to 5:30.
Yeah, from 11:10 to 4:40. So
I guess you could do the math and figure out, well, if they're starting every 12 minutes, you can probably figure out a limit, but probably easier just to go in and see if there's any spots available.
Yeah, it's like every 10 minutes with a half-hour break around noon or something like that. But still spots, I think. Actually, I can see right now. Yeah, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's a dozen spots left.
Nice. April 18th is the ADK Discs presents Wing It and Sling It Open at Dove Creek, sponsored by Visit Montgomery County, a C-tier run by Terry Hudson. That one's right around half full. I see Evan and Terry are in there. That's something I didn't ask him last week, whether or not he was actually going to play in the tournament. So it's cool that he is. I see Cline's playing. Can't you play MA40 yet?
No.
No?
It's funny because I'm such a baby compared to everybody else. It's so weird because I am definitely the oldest in my high school friend group. I'm certainly people call me the old man. But in disc golf, I'm y'all are 40? What do you mean you're 40?
Well, you graduated at 20 like Tim, right? If you're the old man.
No, not quite.
The old man in your high school friend group.
He graduated from high school in 2017 while I graduated in 2007 or whatever it was.
2011. It's not that drastic.
There's still spots available for ADK Discs, Wing It and Sling It. Later in April, we've got a couple events. Registration opens tonight, I believe, for Mighty Gaw 19. That's for whole sponsors. General registration will open on the 16th. That's for April 25th. Also April 25th, the 4th annual Riverside Rambler. That's at Riverside Park. Registration, I believe, is fully open for that. It's got a few players. Doesn't take 72 because they've only got 9 tee pads. So you can figure that out with the math. These aren't until May, but figured I'd mention them. Disc Cap Flex 2, Friday, May 1st, the second in the Flex series at Minekill.
I think registration opens for that, right? Today?
Yep.
Tonight.
The 9th tonight.
Yeah, nice. So registration is open for that, and registration closes April 29th. Finally, we got the Tower of Flowers Women's Global event at SPW, Sunday, May 24th. All women's and female junior divisions welcome. Come play a PDGA sanctioned event to see how you stack up against other women around the world in your division. Anything else?
Well, April Showers will be in there in April somewhere, but I don't think it's up yet.
Yeah, so keep an eye out for April Showers.
The March Monthly, I don't know if that made it in here.
You're running that, right?
Yeah. So that'll be the 22nd. It'll just basically be 1 week before the actual tournament. It's a Sunday, so not a week before, but whatever. At Blatnick Park.
Niskayuna.
Sorry. Yeah, Niskayuna.
I know Blatnick more than I know Niskayuna. I mean, if I put that in my GPS, I'm going to end up in the middle of a town or something.
It's named for an Olympic hero.
Oh, yeah? Joe Niskayuna?
Jeff Blatnick.
Oh. So with the time change yesterday, we got a bunch of leagues coming up. Pretty sure Gardner started their dubs tonight. Also on Mondays, Camp Gaul usually starts. I don't know if they've started up yet, but none of this matters if they didn't start this week. It matters if they started next week. Anything else on Mondays?
Prospect.
Has that started up yet?
Jay was going to do kind of an unofficial preseason today and then canceled it because the course is still kind of sloppy. But I will say that a bunch of people were out there after work throwing discs.
Well, didn't Eric just post a picture of it underwater?
I went yesterday, being Sunday, with Cline and our buddy Adam. Hole 8 was underwater, but I brought a shovel and I dug a little channel to the storm drain, and hopefully that helped because today it was much better.
It was night and day from today and yesterday.
Evan didn't get my joke.
Pat was referring to the historical location of a lake on hole 18 in one's fairway.
Oh, I thought Eric posted a picture from our round or something. Yeah, good reference.
Yeah. No. All right. Well, Evan's getting muted for the... There you go. Just keep that on. Anything else on Mondays that we don't know about? All right. Tuesdays. Corey, what's going on with J-Dubs?
I think J-Dubs, I'm shortening the season by like 1 week on each end. So I think I'm going to be starting that March 24th. But this past Tuesday, after this comes out, 10th, I'm hoping to run some, I'm calling it fall spring pre-dubs, just like some casual dubs. I played the course a little bit today, Monday, and it's playing fine. So
you might do that next week as well then?
Weather permitting, yeah. I mean, this past Tuesday, they're calling for like 70 degrees and sunshine. So I'm like, well, how can you not? But we'll see how the next week goes.
All right. What else happens on Tuesdays? Skylands usually has theirs at Warwick. I think they're officially looking to start up on March 31st, but I'm sure there'll be Rebel dubs between now and then, so check the Skylands page for that. Anything else on Tuesdays? All right. Wednesdays. Alex, what's going on with Stony Kill? Anything?
The official start of weekly doubles will be the 18th, so not this coming Wednesday, but the Wednesday after. I have to assume that we're going to do something this coming Wednesday, but I'm not sure if anything's been, official yet.
Okay, so maybe like a Rebel dubs.
Yeah, I guess they wouldn't do Glow now that the time has changed.
All right, Shen Creek dubs should be starting up soon. There's always Deadbeat doubles, and Dan Doyle posted they're looking to start a putt and approach weekly on Wednesdays at the Oasis. So that's your Wednesday. Thursday, as always, there's the Disc Beat Club. That's usually at SPW, but, check your local listings because that can move around. Anything else on Thursdays?
That's usually CPS too.
Do we know when that started or is going to start?
I haven't heard anything from Earl.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything yet. I don't know if Earl's doing it or who's running it, but usually that pops up sometime. And that usually starts a little later, though, I think. Maybe first week of April.
I feel like mid-April.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other Thursdays? All right. And Friday. What do we got going on Friday?
I think SPW is starting.
SPW?
I think they're starting. I think Kevin said so. SPW, 5 o'clock, definitely starting Friday. Whites for now, it says.
Actually, FDR dubs typically on Friday, and the Handicap League at Oasis, maybe. Well, that's your Monday through Friday covered. I don't know how this fits. We got upcoming events, and then we got these leagues and such. Where does Summer Battle Royale fit in here, Branden?
It's a great question. It really honestly depends if I'm going to change the format or not, which is why I'm here mostly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking about kind of taking out the preliminary round at Stony Kill and just creating group stages for people. So instead of like you go to Stony Kill, play around, and get seated somewhere along the bracket, and then like lose twice, and then you're out. I'm thinking about just having anybody who wants to play sign up, randomly determining groups of like ideally 4, but I'm sure there will be some threesomes, and then having the top 2 players of each group get out, and then kind of determine tiebreakers to kind of set the bracket. So like if you like win like 5-4 versus like 2-1, like you'll have a better win rate bracket.
Like a point differential.
Exactly, yeah. Or like, your opponent's like win rate versus like, your other opponents. It'd have to, I think it'd be like 3 different things to like kind of determine that, just so that like the bracket is somewhat fairly seeded afterwards. But do a group stage, have the top 2 get out, and then go to a bracket seeding from there and just have that be single limit. Because a lot of the feedback I got, which people are like, it seemed kind of hard to get a lot of people to come down and play the like preliminary round, which was fine with me, but some people seem to have like a little bit of like an irk about people not playing their like seeded bracket and then like having to face them. That is technically a problem. I'm always of the mindset that like you can always like shoot terribly at Stony Kill, so like does it really matter?
Yeah, just ask Corey.
I
Exactly.
wasn't sure anyone was going to remember that. I'm surprised you did, Pat. But I was gonna say something, and then Brandon was talking so fast, it was like, I missed my opportunity. But yeah, no, I showed up and was pretty badly seeded.
Yeah, which I don't think really matters. Again, because like Corey, you're a good player, but like sometimes you just are off a little bit, and like that puts you in a much worse seed. But this would eliminate having to like go down there for like 4 weekends in a row, have people show up, figure out their scores and stuff. Like I could just be like, hey, sign up for this, and then like I think it's pretty fair. Like if I just randomly generate the seed and just be like, yeah, like some groups are going to obviously be harder than others. Like if like you go to the pro side and like Jaimen, Randy, and Corey are in one group, like yeah, that's going to be like in the same group. But like that can just happen. It's just how it rolls.
I'm confused. Before you played a round at Stony Kill to determine your seeding. If you didn't show up, you just got whatever point where you signed up. So if say 10 people showed up at Stony Kill, if I signed up the next day and I was too late or whatever, I'd be number 11. And then if Corey signed up after me, he'd be number 12. So I had an opportunity to play one round there. And then you go to the double elimination. So I played 3 matches. How many matches would I play worst case scenario in this new setup?
Worst case scenario, you would play 2. Worst case scenario, you're put into like a group of 3 people, and then you'd play the other 2 players. I think the average and ideal scenario is you're going to get put in a group of 4, and you're going to play 3 other players.
You want to do it World Cup style.
Exactly. I pretty much want to get rid of the preliminary round because that seemed to be like, from what I could tell, kind of like a bit like, not a big issue, but like just like a barrier for people that like, I got to go down to Stony Kill and play this preliminary round to like get it, kind of play this versus like, you could just say like, I'm going to play this.
Everybody that showed up to the preliminary round, you got 3 rounds at a minimum because you got the preliminary, then you got 2 eliminations, and you were out. So you at least played 3 rounds. You're thinking the same thing, except for you put your name in a hat, you organize them into pools of 4, you play 3 rounds against the other 3 people in your group, and then the top 2 move on into a bracket. That's what you're thinking? Single elimination?
Exactly. And I also think this would make it, I really have to double check. Like my intuition is that this would be nicer for like you're a lower rated person, like in general, like either in the AM bracket or in the pro bracket. I'm still thinking to keep those separate, but like you can just roll the dice and like get a good group. You can obviously get like a hard group, but like you can like get like a good group with like people who are closer to your rating and like really have a chance to get out.
Instead of just doing it all at Stony Kill, what about having multiple options? I mean, you're not at every elimination or, match play match. So, I understand you were saying it keeps you from having to go to Stony Kill 4 times or whatever. What if it's just, here's the weekends that this is available. You need to have at least, say, 2 other people with you. You know what I'm saying? Like have 4 or 5 different courses.
Well, how can you compare scores is the issue, right? Like if you go play like Prospect versus go play CPS, those are like different things.
Okay, I understand that, but doesn't the women's global event have people from all over the world playing?
Well, that's based on rating, isn't it? Or am I incorrect about that? I'm not very familiar with that.
I'm not either. I just read about it a few minutes ago.
I think it's rating, and yeah, it's kind of tougher to do that because if you only have 3 people show up or 4 people show up or whatever, 4 people played at CPS, it's kind of tough to pick up a rating off of, just 4 people or however many people.
Mm-hmm. I get that. I was just thinking because in the earlier rounds, you had picked layouts. You were going for the easier layouts to give people a chance and to also get somebody like a Corey or Alex or somebody who probably doesn't play CPS whites very often. But if you did it like that, it's never going to be a 1-to-1. You know what I mean? If I play a tournament against Corey and Corey's on hole 1 and I'm on hole 10 and it's windy for his first 9 holes, and by the time I get to hole 1, it's not. It's, you know what I'm saying? You're never going to get complete fairness in disc golf.
100%. I haven't really thought about that, honestly.
My only feedback is I was fine with the format before, depending on the flexibility of whatever you come up with. I didn't go to school for sports scientists, so like I don't even know like this option you were spitting out. I didn't even know that was like a thing that people had already doing until Tim dropped the World Cup reference. But yeah, I mean, I would still look to play this one, even if you went with this format, depending on the flexibility. Like if it was as flexible the matches they were last year.
Well, I think the flexibility would stay.
Saying that me and Jason really dragged that out, but
oh, listen, I really meant what I said. I gave 2 fucking shits. You had the money, and that was it. I was like, great. You guys can sell this on your own time. You're adults. Figure it out. You know, like, and then let me know. But I think I would keep not exactly the same structure or level. I think I would make 3 different levels for courses. Like I would keep it so that like how I had 4 levels last year. I think I would have level 1 and 2 be like the group stage, and then if you go into the bracket, have that go from level 1 and 2 to level 2 and 3 as your course options. So you could like go back to like CPS longs or like things that like, you know, are like moderately like difficult for like at least amateurs. But I also, again, I feel like a lot of people just were like just kind of off put about having to come out to Stony Kill. I guess I could pick a different course too, but I really like Stony Kill because like it has good like tight wooded lines and then like big open holes, so you get to really kind of showcase like what you're really good at too.
I'll say this. If I was only going to play 2 matches, I mean, because that's the worst case scenario, I would rather them be the double elimination and just totally disregard the seeding.
Yeah, it's just so again, I'm not even 100% sold on this idea. You know, I was really kind of coming over here to kind of test the waters a little bit and see how people thought about this kind of thing. Only because like this was like the only like technical negative feedback I felt like I got. That was just like, hey, you know, this could be tuned up a little bit some way or somehow. So I'm just trying to find like solutions to like address that situation of having to go do a preliminary round.
The preliminary round is to seed everybody, right?
Correct.
So I guess my question is, was there anybody who played last year who wasn't rated?
I don't think so. I think most people were rated.
So could you just use ratings for seeding?
You could, but my real issue with that is that I think that just favors higher rated players because you're guaranteed to play a lower rated player right off the bat. That doesn't feel very inclusive to me personally. Say like you got like Josh Lee, right? Josh Lee's I think like literally 914 rated. If he goes up to 920 and then like, you know, he has to play you, Jaimen, like that's a lot different than like you both like do kind of okay at Stony Kill and then he has to play like, you know, somebody else who's like a little bit closer to his rate.
Yeah. You don't have to do it like 1v16. You could do it any way you wanted to, you know, in the season.
And just fully randomize it?
Oh, and I just mean that like, you know, you could take the top 8 and have them play each other and have 9 through 16 play each other in the first round. If you wanted something like that, you don't have to do it like top versus bottom and all the way down that way, like the NCAA.
Oh, that's a great suggestion. I have not thought of that one.
Yeah, because it sounds like you're hoping for weirdness at Stony Kill. You're almost rooting against things being a 1-to-1, like the better player scored better. You know what I mean? You're almost banking on somebody like Corey having a really bad round. Not to bring it up again.
I just like
and that's bound to happen.
Chalk kind of.
I'm sorry, Brandon.
I'm sorry. I like the idea of like, okay, so we've kind of dealt with this in Team Challenge. I feel like, so like, there's a lot of people that have good ratings that like, I'm like, your rating is definitely not attuned to like how good you're playing, like at least today, or like, you know, who I'm playing against. But the whole point of like the preliminary round is to try to get the most recent data and like arbitrarily just deciding a course and just be like, I think this course is good to showcase whether or not like you're going to like play good in this tournament or not.
I don't hate the seeding round. I think that's kind of a cool concept.
I also liked it.
I think that is pretty cool on its own. The only thing that I could see, and I don't think is going to happen, it's just the history of some of the people who I've played with over the years. There's always the chance of somebody just tanking it, but that.
But that doesn't even favor you. That's the whole point, right?
What? Sorry.
So, like, if Corey tanks the round and he's the worst person there, that means he's going to play a higher seed, and he really doesn't want to. Like, he wants to have an easier avenue. Like, the way the structure is set up, in theory, like they had before, that, like, if you are a higher seed, you are more likely to get a bye. You are more likely to play people who have worse seeding, which means they're more likely to have done worse at Stony Kill, which means they're more likely to just be averagely worse as a disc golfer.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like I said, I think that the way you were doing it made sense. I think it works out pretty well. I'd not considered that aspect of it. I think I usually look at the semi-similar situation of handicaps where it's like, well, somebody could just tank the first couple weeks and then cash for until their handicap rises back to where it should be. But no, yeah, I mean, I think whatever you do is going to be cool, but I think that don't try to reinvent the wheel if what you did was working on your.
Oh, yeah, that's the issue. It definitely was.
I don't think you have to be there, Branden.
For the first year, I said I was like, I'm 100% going to be here because I need to like, not that I don't trust people, but I need
You
to
were helicopter
see, like,
parenting.
I need to make sure like nothing bad happens.
Branden, what if you do exactly what you had last year, and then the people that can't make the preliminary, you put them where their rating is?
That's unfair. That's way too unfair.
Way too unfair? Okay.
Yeah, way too unfair. Because then Josh is just like, oh, sorry. I misunderstood what you said. What you said was have everybody who played be seated and then everybody seated after. Got you. Okay.
Yes.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah, because that way it's not just, you get the 12th seed because you didn't want to come and play. You get seated where you would fit into the group based on who's there.
That sounds good until Jaimen doesn't show up, and then he's number 1 seed anyways.
I was going to say that's for somebody with a higher rating, it's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, no, I guess I was thinking on the AM side that makes more sense than.
Well, no, hold on, wait. I'm confused. He wouldn't be the number 1 seed, right? What Tim is saying, well, I understand, right? Is that okay? So say 8 of us play and 4 extra people signed up who didn't play. I would take the 8 people, and then they would be seated where they finished their score, and then the 4 people would be seated by the rating afterwards.
Right. So the 8 people are there. So the best rated player gets the rated 9th.
Exactly.
And then 10, 11, 12 from there. They don't get just whenever they signed up, they get that next spot. It's basically whoever shows up and plays, the better you play, the better your seed. If you can't make it, it's based off rating.
And then that would make theoretically the last person signed up would be the lowest rated of the last people to show up, and they would play theoretically the best. So,
So if Jaimen can't make it and he signs up, he's whatever place of he's the highest spot that didn't play.
But he would still play the worst person that actually showed up if you were to do like.
Well, yeah, or he'd get the number 1 seed depending on what the numbers are. Like, let's say if 4 people show up in pro and then 6 people don't, and it's rating, he'd be in the middle of the pack at like the 4 or 5 seed.
Okay, I like this idea. I think I would take your idea, Tim, and Jaimen's idea of kind of mashing them together, right? So like have it so it would be anybody who played would play each other, right? So if 8 people show up and then I seed them, I would have them all play each other, at least the first round, and then have the 4 people who
so like 2 separate brackets into the same bracket.
Yeah, so you don't get screwed over by like being like the 3rd or 4th, like who shot like pretty decent but not great, and then you're just like paired against Jaimen.
Okay.
I feel like that opens up the whole I'm not going to show up to the seating round anyways, which I think was probably like the source of some people's feedback, if I had to guess.
Yeah. Again, that's why the whole like I was trying to think of like, it's a lot easier to say like, hey, like, I'll play, and then like everybody signed up, and then I just give you your group and like, all right, I just need you to like during the month of May, I need you to play like these 2 or 3 other people, let me know on like the matches, and then we'll go from there, which I think is in theory is easier. I like the preliminary round. I like exactly what I did, but again, the feedback that I got was like maybe try to adjust this in some sort of fashion.
Well, we kind of skipped over another. I mean, not that that's 100% settled or anything, but it's not going to be double elimination this year?
If I did the group stage. If I don't do the group stage, I'll pretty much do the exact same thing I did before. If I do the group stage, then I think it'd be nice to like have it so the group stage is like during the months of like, did I say May? I meant June. During like everybody signs up during the month of May, and then during the month of June, everybody plays their group. I don't think it's unreasonable to get like 3 matches in during a whole month, and then figure out the bracket, and then then you have like July, August, September to like go through a bracket, and then like once you're out or once you lose, you're out.
I like having at least 3 rounds.
Yeah, that is the big downside. There were 100% like groups of 3. There is no avoiding that because the way like math works to create a proper bracket eventually, you will have to have groups of 3 to like have enough players like eliminated and stuff like that.
Have you tried using Terrence Howard math? Maybe that's why.
I don't know if I'm like too young to get that reference or, you're just way out in left field or not.
Terrence Howard, the actor that was in like those superhero movies or whatever, it's like 1 × 1 = 2 or something. Maybe that's the missing.
The first War Machine.
Oh, dude, is this the dude that was like in Iron Man and like he's like super crazy now?
Depends on what you define as crazy, but some might say that. that. Yeah.
No, this dude's like super crazy, right? Didn't like go on Joe Rogan and like say a whole bunch of like crystal ball stuff lately?
Yeah, probably.
Isn't that a prerequisite to go on that show?
100%.
It'll get you on
100%.
faster, probably.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
Okay, well, I appreciate the feedback. This is not even a set in stone thing. I'm leaning towards keeping it as it is, but I'm definitely not against the idea of doing groups because it takes a lot of work off my plate. And I do think it creates an interesting dynamic of like having like insanely cool groups. There can definitely be like fan favorites in like a certain group and be like, oh man, like, here's a group of deaths, as it goes, and like see who like gets out and stuff.
I don't know. I do think though there's nothing wrong if there were 2 courses. I understand you like Stony Kill. I like Stony Kill as well. But there's nothing against like, you know what? Stony Kill is very reminiscent of this layout at J Park, so you could do 2 courses.
Well, do you have suggestions? I'd love if anybody has suggestions of like what they think a comparable course to like Stony Kill is, the way it kind of scores.
Or are there 2 comparable courses? I know you like the Stony Kill, but I'm saying like if there are 2 other ones.
Yeah, they're just like just comparable, period.
Yeah.
Stony Kill is nice because like the back 9 is different from the front 9 and like the distances are different. I mean, CPS is something similar, I suppose, too, although I kind of like how Stony Kill is a little bit more secluded. J Park, you're not going to win over everybody for that one, so that probably doesn't help.
Wilcox?
That's probably too far.
Just too far, I think. I would love to go down to Wilcox and be like, let's jam here, but...
And like reception and stuff, it's like...
Yeah, like I still have like a bunch of free time and like I can go down there every weekend. That's not a big deal to me. But I definitely understand like that's not an easy thing for everybody. So like I try to like keep it somewhat manageable.
What about, and shoot me down if I'm crazy, but why not just have a window? Get me around between this day and this day at Stony Kill.
I could. Yeah, again, I'm definitely very conscious that like I don't think I need to babysit people. I think I could just like be like, hey, just let me know what you shoot. And like, maybe there'll be like one person that's like, I should have made that putt. Like their score is like 1 stroke better. But like,
if there wasn't money involved, I'd say yeah. But as soon as money's involved, someone's going to get a little...
Yeah.
But this is just for seeding, Corey. And does it benefit you? The only way it would really benefit you if you start getting cards with a bunch of 1s on them, like, oh, I aced 3 holes.
Oh man, I aced 4 times in a row. You wouldn't believe it.
If somebody really wants to go out and, I shot the best round of my life just so they can play somebody that's not as good. Once it gets to the match play, what if they lose to that person?
True, yeah.
I mean, the AM person who was number 1 seed, Luke, shot insane at Stony Kill. He shot like his best round ever there. And then like he like went like, I beat him, and then he like won one, and then he lost. So like, it was like, there were definitely like capacities of like, just like, yeah, dude, you just shot great on like, this day. And like, it like didn't help like at the other courses.
I think I figured out how Corey gamed the system. So Corey, you want to play the best players in the first round and try to eliminate them on the shorter courses, right?
That's a good strat, yeah.
Because why would you want to play the best players at Minekill when you can play them at Prospect?
No, yeah, that's 100%.
It only benefits you to sandbag in the first round.
I didn't win though. Jason did.
You almost won. You almost gamed it.
No, that just proves that gaming the system doesn't always work. All right.
Kind of, yeah.
Anything else you wanted to get off your chest as far as the Summer Battle Royale? When do we have a time frame?
I'm definitely going to do the same thing I did like kind of last year. Like end of April, I expect to like put out all the information I'm going to have for this year. And then during the month of May, whether or not I decide group stages or not, like I'll announce either preliminaries or like how we're going to do things. And, we'll get the ball rolling then is my game.
Okay.
I mean, you gave me a lot of great feedback, Pat. I appreciate it.
I'm all about playing as many rounds as I could possibly do for free. So,
Me too. Honestly, me too. That is what I'm trying to do. But
yeah. And when I say for free, I mean, obviously you would pay regardless. I just mean like, I don't have to win anything and I'm playing 3 rounds. I'm taking that over 2 rounds.
Absolutely. Get your money first. I'm about that.
Yeah. All right. I just wanted to get in a couple scores real quick. Long Island Sunday doubles the last 2 weeks. March 1st, Sean Ziegel and Josh Winkler won. They shot a -14, beat Philip Rascona and Rich Kremler, who shot a -10. Yesterday, March 8th, Sean Mahan and Josh Winkler shot a -12 to win, beat Brian Wisher and Jack Wilbur. Disc Beat Club, I guess they just do seasons that roll into each other, like they end a season and they start right back up. They ended one of their seasons. Looks like for the day, Mel Gallagher came in 3rd, Rob Pupke in 2nd, and Mark Stryker won and got 10 points. For the season, Dan Pupke ended up at 85 points. Rob Pupke beat him by 0.5 point in 4th place with 85.5 points. Mark Stryker came in 3rd, 107.5 points. Kevin Kroenke in 2nd with 110 points, losing to Greg Kurtz with 110.5 points. So Greg Kurtz is your Disc Beat Club champion. And like I said, I think weather permitting and all that, Thursday they'll start a new season. So congratulations, Greg Kurtz. Northway Brewing had their final week. Looks like Granger won the junior division. In the FPO division, Rachel Radiker came in second behind Caitlin Clay, your winner. In the MPO division, Tyler Calzada came in second to Cody Miller in first place. Thank you to correspondent Joe Karen for that information. Riverside course in Port Jervis, they had their Deja Trois, their Groundhog Day event, which is a month late due to the immense amounts of snow we had this year. It was a free event, started at 11 o'clock. You were thinking of going, right?
I was, but we went out of town for my father-in-law's birthday, so I didn't get any disc golf in.
I've got my first disc golf in since Kisco, so almost 2 months. Basically, you play one round of 27 holes, red, white, and blue layout. Completely opposite of the Riverside Rambler, which is, from what I understand, blue to white to red. It had an interesting twist, though, that you get a mulligan on every hole, but you had to use an elevation disc. We talked about it. You're familiar with the elevation disc, right, Evan?
I have one of them. The Interceptor is a mid-range. It's rubbery and very, very overstable. I use it almost exclusively at Prospect Park on hole 13 because the green is so sloped that for an upshot, it'll, I'd say 7.5 times out of 10, it won't roll away.
It's in your bag.
Yeah, that slot in a grip bag that's like on the flap that you slide all your discs past. It's in that little extra spot. I barely throw it. Did they give you guys each one, or did they like let you borrow it, or how'd that work?
That's what I was going to say. No, it's a free event and you got a disc. You had to pick which one. Now they had a wide variety. Because you have this mulligan, you have to decide. You're like, well, what am I going to screw up most? Is it going to be my drives? Is it going to be my putting? And I just asked what they think. And since I throw forehand, they had suggested the Gecko, which is, I guess, relatively overstable. And it's definitely, it's got to be like a fairway to driver type. I don't practice putting enough that a second one's going to help. So I just thought, if I hit an early tree, maybe I can throw this, get it like in the middle, you know what I mean? Just to save a par off of a really bad shot or something like that. And I'll be honest with you, I was surprised how many times I probably ended up using it like to my benefit at least 3 or 4 times. I mean, it's 27 holes. It was probably more than that, but knowing it was there was also helpful.
Was it super floppy in the hand, or did it have a little more form to it?
Especially with a forehand, because if you throw a backhand, sometimes people will put 2 hands on it before they throw, that kind of thing. With a forehand, no, you could feel it drooping down when you throw it.
Yeah, on mine, the flight plate, if you can call it that, is super thin. So you're really just kind of gripping the rim.
Yeah.
And I've thrown it in the field. It's a really overstable mid-range. But again, for me, it's just kind of a utility disc. But that's neat that everybody got one. And I know I've heard people talk about the Koi. And if you want a soft putter, that's pretty soft. One
of the guys, George, was saying that he actually uses, he's got a Koi in his bag. They make one that's a little stiffer, apparently. Mm-hmm. He used it pretty well. What I found, I was able to get it to go straight, but I never was 100% sure the direction because it just felt weird. My release was always, I don't know, it was touchy.
Well, I still want to check out the course. I know I saw they posted, or maybe I was just browsing disc golf, seeing the Ramblers at their annual tag kickoff. Is that next month?
Yeah, that's the 25th of April. The registration's open for that, so closes on the 23rd. And that one, whereas this Deja Trois, we did red, white, then blue, that one will go blue, white, red, which, just a piece of advice, you probably want to get a practice round in. You don't want to just get thrown in on the blues.
I was going to say, if I do that event, I might be playing it blind, so maybe I'll try to get down there beforehand.
Yeah, because that's tough. I mean, you could argue the flip of that too, because what you could say is, well, with the red, white, and blue, you're losing out on opportunities to get birdies if you're playing red blind. But I just feel like depending on the hole you start, you could just get in a lot of trouble if you're playing it blind,
Or by the time you get to the reds, you're warmed up for all the ace runs.
Yeah, no, that's a good point too. Because I never do well if I'm playing a practice round on the reds, because I just come out of the car. I use it as a practice round.
Right.
So whereas I should be getting 5s and 6 down, I end up getting like 3 down just because, the first couple holes, I'm just, hearing the cracks and me going, from throwing. So, but let me go over the results. Deja Trois lifted up by Elevation Disc Golf. Top 10, Peter Mallon shot a -2. Shayna DeSapio -3. Brian Heller -5 in 8th place. George Henry with a -6 in 7th. Gary F. with a -8 in 6th place. Jared with a -9. There was a tie for 3rd place at 10 down between Peter Newland and Sean DiStefano. Josh Goheen came in second place with the -18, and Tyler Ferrati is your winner at -19. I believe there was a tiebreaker. They had to throw an elevation disc off a hole 1, and I think they ended up doing a CTP because those things are floppy as fuck.
They're weird for sure.
I was really I hadn't played since Kisco, so for me it was just about finishing 27 holes. I did kind of all right through the first 60%, and then my arm is still, it hurts. So I got to learn backhand this year. We didn't get to SkipAce last week, and there are picks for this coming week, right?
Yeah, there's an event this weekend.
The MVP Big Easy Open, right?
Out of Louisiana,
Presented
I think.
by Flight Factory. Big Easy makes sense if it's I'm pretty sure Shia LaBeouf signed up. So let's take a look at week 1. We had 31 people picking. Much more manageable number. I like that. Corey, how'd you do here? I'm trying to find you. I don't see you on our list.
Pat, don't get me fucking started on this SkipAce bullshit.
So what exactly happened?
Okay, so the day before picks closed, I think I realized that, the website's not blocked at work. So I was kind of like looking through like some players and like, whatever. I got distracted. I'll do it when I get home. Got home, did the whole wood stove thing, which includes passing out on the couch in front of the wood stove at like 8 o'clock. Woke up. I still had like 2 hours left on picks before they closed. I made my picks. Pretty sure I hit save or whatever. Woke up the next morning, like, all right, FPO's been playing. Let me see what my picks are doing. Couldn't find it on my page. Didn't even have the picks recorded. So I didn't make picks. Officially, I did not make picks, but I wrote down who I picked and I figured out how many points they have. And I think when I checked, unofficially I beat Randy by a few points. So I'm just going to leave that in my back pocket. It's probably going to be a dropped round, even if it was recorded. But I'm just going to say, if me and Rob are going neck and neck and I got him and he's got me by 500 points, I'm calling bullshit. Just saying.
All right. Well, as I mentioned, we had 31 people in the league. 31st place was Joe C. Now, that's either the little rapper with Kid Rock or Joe Karen or a different Joe C. It could be 3 different people. But in 30th place was Randy. So you didn't light it up, as the kids would say.
Yeah, I hope that gets dropped.
Well, actually, before we get too far into it, Branden, we were having some issues with the scoring system. What did you think?
Okay, so the scoring system is terrible. The way it works is that you have people like Gannon Burr shooting like 40 down at some events and like getting like points based on how many birdies you got. And that's how SkipAce works. And then, you'd have somebody like shoot a 20 down and win a tournament. Not like normally it's like 150 less points, but like a good chunk of less points than you would have got. And if you take into consideration of how many players you're picking, which is normally 6, and just like push that through a whole bunch of like, events, it made it so that if you picked good players during like the quote easier events where they would score higher, you got way more points than you would just like, getting your average position. If you pick Gannon Burr to like win and he won with like -40, that was a lot better than picking like AB to win like with a -20.
I thought we switched to a sliding scale.
No, sorry, we did. No, now we're back to sliding scale, which is much better, much more fair, because it just gives it a certain amount of max points for the position, and that's going to hold true. I think there's like a little bit of deviation, like with like how many players like enter. Like, if there's like 60 FPO players versus like, 40 FPO players, the scale when you get to like the lower like rankings changes a little bit. But like most of like what you like kind of determine for SkipAce about like the top 30 stays roughly the same.
Well, and yeah, there's only like 400 points, give or take, less than 450 separating first and 31st. So yeah, it's not too bad. So it gives Randy hope and Joe C. And me, not for nothing. I'm in 27th place. I'm not, I'm not lighting up the scores here.
But yeah, if you like get first like a bunch of weeks in a row, you'll do great.
Yeah. Since there's only 31, I'll just read them all. But we got Josh Lee in 29th, Tucker the Koala in 28th, myself in 27th, Maximilian Pegasus in 26th, Kathleen Bemis, exactly 100. Oh, no, never mind. That was over 31st place. That would have been so cool if she was 100 points ahead of you. But, only 77 points ahead of you, Randy, if I did the math right. Biggs, Nick Warren in 24th place, Jacob Dunbar in 23rd, Brandon Cline, 22nd place, 828.
It was a tough. AB and Ezra Robinson just like shit the bed on me, and I don't know what to say about it.
All right. Jaimen came in 21st place, respectable, behind Amanda Dunbar in 20th, Sparky Spalding in 19th, Highland Mike Warner in 18th, Brian Heller in 17th, Ivan Ivan Marmota in 15th, right in the middle, Billy Buckner tied for 15th with Ivan Ivan. The correspondent is in 14th, so Joe C might be the rapper in 31st because the correspondent is in 14th place. Alex Potts, 13th, though.
Lucky number 13.
Ryan Travis 148343 in 12th. Tucker Rules in 11th. Hopefully we'll get to say Tucker Rules a lot this year. He kind of fell off at the end of last year. And your top 10, because there's a few names I didn't mention here. Kenji Cline in 10th. Evan, 9th place.
Did it all by myself.
Yeah. Who helped you with your picks?
Nobody this year. I thought they were terrible picks, but I guess not.
All right. Former winner Mike Schwartz in 8th place. Corey's nemesis, Rob Wiesa of Mississippi in 7th place. So, Corey, you're 991 points behind him already.
Officially, yes.
Unofficially, only like 200 points behind.
Yeah, like 250 or something like that, yeah.
6th place, we got Pat Jeffries.
One
Pat
of the
with
newest
2 teeth.
Lemonheads.
All right. Ryan Nelson, top 5, 5th place. Stubbs in 4th. Lefty Flick 21 in 3rd. Blue Jay Disc Golf Store in 2nd place. Do we know? No? Okay.
Jay
It's a Randy
Gorsage.
question.
Did somebody say, is that Jay Gorsage?
No, that's a Randy question.
Why would I know?
Bird.
Because it's a bird.
Jesus.
It's a bird.
1066, though. Battle of Hastings. Never mind. But your leader with 1,123 points, Brian Bickersmith. So that's a good solid lead after 1 week. I will say this, if we don't determine our last year's winner by the end of this year, Brian's going to be our winner for last year.
Pat, I found him.
Oh,
I
yeah?
found a dude. So remember how you said you guys have like European viewers, like in Sweden and stuff? It's that dude, I'm pretty sure.
Wait,
Anytime we said that we had a European viewer, it was a joke. Or Ryan was out there either going to watch disc golf or hockey.
I am not joking. I don't remember his name is the issue.
Stefan Freefelt.
Say that again?
Stefan Freefelt or something to that.
I found his Facebook profile, and he's like a disc golfer from Sweden, and I swear to God, it's got to be him.
you didn't message him?
No, I'm going to make Pat message him.
I think somehow the first couple weeks last year we were open, like anybody was signing up. This year I made sure to sign it up like it's I thought I did it last year too, but it's like a invite league. Well, not an invite, as long as you have the code and it's free and all that. But we had like 100 something people last year.
It says 200.
What's that? From last year?
How many you had last year?
Yeah, a lot of those were, I mean, we had that Canadian disc golf store, a bunch of stuff. So, I mean, if they're not actually listening, is my feeling, like you got a year, Stefan Freefelt, from the time you hear my voice. A season, not even a year, like, because it's been a year. By the end of the PDGA season, if you haven't reached out, then Ryan Bickersmith's the winner. Because I don't know what the hell Stefan Freefeld's going to do with some ADK discs, gift certificates or whatever I get him. Although I guess they ship shit, but I don't know if he sends it to Canada or whatever European country he's in.
I think it's Sweden or Norway, maybe.
Why does it say I'm 27th to 36, but there's only 31 on here?
I think it's because people have
signed up
made
after?
picks for next week.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay. Oh, so we've already boosted up. All right. So that's your SkipAce for this week. And we do have a pick coming up. As we said, the DGPT MVP Big Easy Open presented by Flight Factory. Picks close probably right after release. It says the 13th. That's Friday. So if you're listening to this, get your picks in. I'll post something probably tomorrow as well. I've already posted once about it. So, Jaimen, you said Disc Captain's New England Team Challenge Finals fate could become clearer after this weekend. Is there an update?
Yes. So Devil's Grove took care of business. They swept Oak Ridge in doubles after a very close first round. I think it was 10-12 at the half with Devils on top. So we are 100% locked into finals.
Nice. And you still have one match?
Yep. One more match. We get to play Oak Ridge. This is kind of just a grudge match at this point. We get to go to the team that gave Stony Kill such a hard time last year about scheduling a match. So we made it very easy to schedule a match, and we're going to make it very easy for them to go back down to D Pool, I hope.
Ooh. And is that a home match or what is that?
Nope, it's an away match.
And how far of a trip is that?
It's pretty close. It's kind of Western Mass, maybe 2 hours from Glens Falls, which means it's super close for everybody else.
Okay. There seemed to be a lot of issue about the travel with Team Challenge. Did you chime in on that at all, Jaimen?
I did not. I always chalk that up to people who just like want a league to be perfect for them without any regard to the other 2,000 people in the league. So that's just whining, if I'm being completely honest.
I mean, my feeling is, say, Jaimen, you were going to approach me about playing, you would say, this is Team Challenge. Team Challenge is once a month, travel. This is our home course. These are the potential places we might go. You know what I mean? You should have all that information.
Snow.
Yeah, rain or snow, unless it's literally dangerous, you're probably going to have to go. We do lunch in between. This is why we do lunch. That's the whole thing. That's what Team Challenge is. I don't know. That's just my
Yeah, I think it's ultimately very self-serving. I think the context is, on top of everything, is that this person plays for the only team out of Vermont, which makes it just like that much dumber. It's like, oh, I joined this league and everything. This league is far away from me and I have to travel. Woe is me. It's like, I don't know, get over it. It sounds like you signed up for the league for the wrong reasons. That's a you problem.
The same guy who posted it also said he's not a fan of the whole lunch thing. So, I mean, there you go.
This league has thousands of people in it. Everyone knows that you travel, and when you have a home match, you bring food. And there's always going to be a few people that don't understand why we do so much traveling and don't understand why we do food. It's literally like the two biggest thing. And then disc golf. There's 3 pillars of team challenge.
Right. They also don't seem to understand that this is optional.
Yeah,
Correct.
too. Yeah, you
Correct.
don't have to do this. You hate it, don't come.
I'm sorry. I'm looking for all the match. We should really take just a couple minutes out. Jason Gorsage is the man. This is so
He's the best.
awesome.
Yeah.
At this point, there's a learning curve, but I dig the learning curve. It's kind of fun to figure out because each week it seems like there's something different and something interesting. It's just cool. I like it.
Did you hear that he wants to take the pictures of the whiteboards and automatically load it in? That's his next thing he wants to work on.
Oh, just scrape it?
Yeah, he wants to. Somebody posted on our whiteboard about how awesome our whiteboard is. And then Eric posted something about, hey, I sent the template out to X amount of people so they can use it for their own whiteboards. And then Jay goes, if you give me that template, I can make it so that a picture will automatically load into the whiteboard. So more things to come, it sounds like.
Yeah, that's just you're blowing my mind here. I can't even deal with it. That's too much for me.
Now everyone has to have a standardized whiteboard, though. So like, I'm not buying.
That's the other piece. But I mean, for those that, not everybody's going to use the whiteboard until it's mandatory. So this is just, and it might never be, but just options. Cool things are coming. And I agree with Pat. Jay's doing an awesome job with everything.
You should start a Facebook thread on that, on the New England. Like, I'm tired of non-standardized whiteboards.
Yeah, this league's been around for decades, and we're still drawing on napkins at some matches.
There is one guy who wants to make that a rule.
A standardized whiteboard?
No, you just say you need to have a whiteboard. It's like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
All right, so there were a few matches of local consequences, and we probably never would have looked at any of these without TC Whiteboard. So another thank you to Jay Gorsage. But looks like Warwick was at Barry. That name sounds familiar, Jaimen. Where's that located? Barry Falls Dam?
Yep. It's also kind of in that central Mass area near 501
Okay. What pool is Warwick in now?
B.
Do you know anything about this match?
They're both solid teams. The story so far for B Pool this year has been that Tank is not doing as strong as everybody expected them to. I think they have 2 losses, which, if I remember correctly, is more losses than they've had since they started as a team, however many years ago, 5 or something like that. So they've ran into a little bit of trouble in B Pool. And so the top teams in B Pool right now are Barry, Warwick, Bellamy. There's too many B's. I want to call them Burgess. Bellamy and Tank. So this is kind of a heavyweight fight.
Yeah, it looks like no penalty points, which is good this time of year. I see Scott Spellman got a win. Rob Valecki got a win. But yeah, they lost 11-7 in singles. But Warwick won doubles 10-8, including a penalty point for Barry. So final result, Barry 19, Warwick 17. Joey Apples and Tom Kiley won their match. Dustin Wolf and Ross Hart. Dana Litt and Mark Carmen got the chili pepper for Warwick. So that's something. Won the mixed doubles pairing. But yeah, so I guess we could can we look at their standings? That would be crazy.
Definitely.
E-pool. Oh yeah. So if this is up to date with the win, Barry is 5-1.
This
Warwick
dude even
is-
has graphs at the bottom. Did you scroll down, Pat?
No.
I think this is more up to date than the official spreadsheet because it hasn't been caught up yet.
If you go to like B pool standings or like a pool standings, you scroll down, it has like the
Oh, I haven't seen any of this. Holy crap.
dude, right?
I don't have any kind of graph or anything on the page I'm looking at least, which is the standing.
It's not a graph, but it's like a colored chart of
The chart, yeah.
their matchups.
Oh, is that
It's
like
a
cost
spreadsheet.
thing?
He's pulling this directly from the actual chart, the sheets that are for the league.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, to Evan's point is he's pulling everything from every Google sheet, inputting it in here, and then he's got it even more up to date. I did hear him talking at some point to Bryant that they may work on another way where it actually feeds into those Google sheets. so that it won't be manually entered by the commission every time. So
Be great, because I don't believe that the majority of the commissioners are inputting any of that data. I think it is almost exclusively Bryant doing all of that.
it sounds like it's Bryant doing everything. But yeah, I think he was talking to Jay about possibly having, because this is pulling directly from those sheets. You can, by the layouts and stuff like that. So I think the next step is to have it go the other way.
Nice. Well, this says it's current through March 7th as far as the standings. Barry has one more match. They're 5-1. They have Dub V, who's 3-3. Warwick, I think, is done at 5-2. I mean, that sounds right?
Yep, that's the season.
Bellamy is at 4-2 in third place. They've got Bridgeport at Bellamy. Bridgeport is 0-6. And Tank, 4-2. Probably has one more match, might be a floater that it's not listed yet. Dub V in fifth place at 3-3, Meadowbrook at 3-4, Page Park 1-5, and Bridgeport 0-6. So things are looking good for Warwick to be making finals in B pool. So there's that. And the other matchup, this is closer to home. What pool are you guys in? What is that? D pool? Yeah, okay, D pool. Yeah, in the D pool, we got the Daisy Owls at Wedge at FDR. Before I start making up shit, anybody have any inside info on this match?
Nothing.
No.
Okay. So it was at FDR. Filth Raskinator got a win. Ryan Nelson, Adam Walsh, Kyle Young, Robert Bennett, Laura Gutman. I think that's Adam Gutman's sister. I saw her playing at Kisco earlier this year. So I guess Adam got his sister into play, and I think that's awesome. But unfortunately, the Daisy Owls looks like they won singles 10.5 to 8.5. In doubles, I see Derek Yarrow and Kyle Young got a win, Filth Raskinator and Jimmy O'Connell. But looks like Daisy 13-6 took down Wedge. So overall 23.5 to 14.5. That's an important matchup because last I heard, this is going into this match, but I thought Wedge might have had a possibility. If they won out, they might have had a shot at finals. If they didn't make finals, they'd definitely avoid relegation. You guys have a big match coming up. Does this mean anything? Am I just making up shit, Alex?
So yes, depending on how our match with Queen City went, a Wedge win would have meant more.
Before we get to your match, does a Wedge loss help you, or did it not matter? Assuming you guys both win going into that last match, it was just you got to beat them, right?
So a Wedge loss does make things marginally better for us. There's a couple of situations where we can jump over Wedge, and that would not have been possible if they had won.
Okay.
But they're not super likely, and we're hoping they don't happen, basically.
All right, so Queen City came to Stony Kill. Is this a regularly scheduled match or like a floater type thing?
Regularly scheduled match. This was our March match. Our match against Wedge will be our neutral, which is the floater match.
So what do we know about Queen City?
Queen City's a strong team. I believe they got bumped from C Pool last year, so obviously they were good enough to move up. The last time we played them, I want to say we had gone all the way to their home course, which is the Hollows. I believe it's the Hollows North in New Hampshire, and we did not do so well. But, looking at everything, it seemed like everything was, if not set up for a win, at least we had the opportunity for a win.
They come in at 3-2. You guys are 1-4, right?
Correct, yeah.
All right, so how'd matchups go?
They went all right. At least they felt pretty good. Looking at the board and everything, it kind of ended up going in runs where certain things went well for us and certain things went well for them as things went on. Both teams were 18-3. We made a couple of subs to get to that number. Some good people that I'm glad we're able to play with. But yeah, other than that, I think things went just about as well as could be expected. Two of their ladies were call-ups from other pools or other teams, or at least they weren't on their roster, which is, a relatively standard thing for people to do. But yeah, everything was feeling pretty good.
And no penalty points, which is huge. Either way. I mean, it'd be nice if you got some, but it's better just, don't even worry about them.
Exactly.
So you played Chris Wiley. Were you a response or were you put out?
I was a throw. We threw me and they responded with Chris. It seemed like he was struggling a bit. Looking at the numbers, it seemed like he could have played a lot better than he did. But, having trouble with distance and having trouble with staying on the fairway in the wooded holes ends up with a relatively comfortable win for me.
6-5.
I'd taken the first 3 holes, 10, 11, 12 pretty easily. And he never really recovered from that. And then, as things go on, you start bleeding points.
That's probably why you want to start on 10.
Exactly.
Make them nervous right off the bat. Awesome. You played with Kevin Gordon?
I did. Yeah, and Kevin and Todd were tight pretty much the entire time. I ended up leaving that card when Kevin was up 1 with 6, 7, 8, 9 left, so 4 holes left. And he had taken one of those and ended up getting the last one as well to take that win.
Heck yeah. So you guys, your card, you got 2 matches, 1. Randy, you played with Nick. How'd that go?
It went good.
Good talk.
All right, moving on. No.
I just found my mute button trying to move my mic. Yeah, it went well. I played this guy named Brian. I still have no idea what his rating is. It was kind of the weirdest match I've played in a long time. It started off where I think he hit like first available on every other hole for almost the whole round, I'm going to be honest. And he was just like a scramble machine. He would throw from only 50 feet off the tee and get it to honestly not even super close, like circle's edge, and he'd like make the putt. And I was throwing well, but I got a lot of pars by throwing it to, 50 feet away from the basket and missing a 50-footer, which is fine. And we would both take par and move on. It was a really funny feeling the whole time because every tee shot, I was just like, all right, I'm going to take this one. And then it wouldn't happen. Tons of pushes from that scenario. Even one, I had a leaner and he hit it like a 70-footer, like a 60-footer to get a birdie just so I couldn't take that one on him. We started on hole 13 and I was thinking, try and finish before we get to 10 so I don't have to do the walking. That didn't happen, but luckily 10 through 12 are kind of harder holes. So I was able to maintain just a slight lead the whole time and push some of those holes and finish it on 11. So 1 hole to spare.
Let me ask you guys both a quick question. This is Alex and Randy in whatever order. Hole 2, what are your thoughts? You guys have played it. I know you've been playing it in bad weather recently, but what do you guys think of that hole? And are there any plans with it either way?
I like the concept of the hole. I get what they were trying to do. And I also know that, there were some challenges with the town that kind of prevented people from doing exactly what they wanted to do. That being said, I think there's at least 1 or 2 trees that could be taken out to make the hole better. And we kind of need to lock down the final position of the basket so that we know exactly which 1 or 2 trees, if any, we're going to take out. And we kind of need to do that at some point. Just sitting with a temp basket for feels like over a year at this point. I feel like we should probably be able to lock it in relatively soon.
All right. Any thoughts, Randy?
Yeah, I think the hole is still a little bit too lucky right now. Great shots don't always result in a great result, and vice versa. There's just so many trees right near the end that sometimes it feels like it doesn't matter. So yeah, hopefully it can be more of a pure hole like old hole 2 was.
Okay. I was just curious. Looks like Kat Bemis won her match. Ryan Kendrick, Mindy Potts, John Tamburino, Sam Richter, Austin Swart out, Chad Larson, and Connor Eckhart all got wins. So you guys are up 1 after singles, 11-10.
That Connor Eckhart win was a particularly good upset too. I think his opponent Colby was like 960, 970 rated, and Connor is not that highly rated, and he played really well to get that.
Kind of like a two-face, because Aaron Eckhart played two-face. Never mind. All right, so you're up 1. Is that a kind of what you were expecting? Is that less than what you were expecting? What are you thinking?
I was certainly hoping for better. A lead is always good, but there were a couple of matches out there that I really felt like could have gone the other way. I don't want to name names because, I don't want to call people out. But yeah, there's a couple out there that I wish had gone the other way.
No, that's cool. Don't even call out Nick Terralavoro. I'm kidding. I'm just picking on Nick. But no, I get you. Not outside the margin, a possible outcome.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be close. It's definitely on the lower side of what I was hoping for.
As far as spread, it's a home match, and you had enough folks this week. So how'd that go?
No stress on that. My mom was doing the breakfast sandwiches, which people always seem to like. I made some cookies. No cookies left at the end of the day. I call that a success. Yeah, it felt pretty good.
Any notable entrees?
I think it was a lot of classic stuff. I know Sam Richter made an Indian dish. I believe the B Miss Sai made mac and cheese.
That was somebody else. I don't know who did the mac and cheese.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
What did the Bemis side make?
Our usual sausage and peppers and apple nana bread muffins.
So what you're saying is Jaimen snuck in a mac and cheese.
Yep, dropped it off.
Okay.
Thanks, Jaimen.
By the way, can I get my crock pot back?
Still got to clean it.
After you clean it, yeah.
It's in the shed still, so. No.
I should note one thing in singles. The forecast was mostly good. It was looking at like a 50-degree day, but about 3 or 4 holes in to our first round, it decided it wanted to rain. It started coming down pretty dang hard for about 5 minutes, and then it stopped raining and it was good again. So I appreciate that it stopped, but I kind of wish I hadn't been out in the wide open of hole 13 when it hit.
Good point. Partly cloudy, 40.7 degrees Fahrenheit, wind 15.7. Was that a factor?
Yeah, a little bit. Wasn't anything crazy, but it was enough to notice.
All right, so you're up 1 going into doubles. What's the thought?
All right, round 2. We need 10 points minimum. 10 points would force a playoff. 11 points would win it outright. So we're feeling like we just want to get our 5 wins. And, if we get 1 or 2 more, that's great. If not, then, that's how it goes. So, yeah, we started putting together some teams, stacking some things up, mostly classic pairings, but we knew they were going to be good. So there's nothing much else to say other than, try and get the wins you can.
It looks like you got Mindy Potts doing a singles. Was that a thought? Was a threesome a thought at any point?
There were some vague thoughts of triples, but I think mostly we weren't too concerned. You got to discuss that beforehand. And in general, triples is either going to benefit one team or the other. And the team that it's not benefiting is going to be like, nah, I don't want to do triples.
That was a good match. 2 overtimes. Do you know any specifics on that or no?
Yeah, so that one was towards the end. She's playing against the same person she played in the morning, and it was a pretty close match there as well. Came down to a playoff. Unfortunately, my mom had taken a double bogey on the second to last hole to end up tying there, but 2-hole playoff. They started on 18, so it was 18-1 for the playoff, but ultimately didn't end up mattering for the overall scores.
All right, so Randy, you play with Tyler. How'd that go?
We had a rough time. Started on 3. I was feeling good from the morning. Tyler had a little bit of a rougher match in the morning, and we were actually playing the guy that he had played in the morning. We started off pretty much pushing with them. Lots of birdies in the front 9. We took a silly bogey on 4 via insane tree kicks off the tee. But yeah, through the front 9, we were, I think, still tied. It was a good match. And then the back 9, we just couldn't get a birdie to save our lives. I don't even know if in a solo round in the past few years I've gone birdie free on the back 9, but we managed to do it in doubles, which is pretty rough. Getting down to the stretch of like 16, 17, 18, those are all pretty birdieable holes. And we just were just off by a tiny bit, We weren't missing putts in the circle, but we weren't making our seemingly necessary 50-foot putts to birdie any of those holes. And they just put them together on that little stretch. So we got back to hole 1 and 2, hoping for a miracle. We birdied them, but they did too. And we didn't pull it off, unfortunately.
So they got you by 3 strokes, it looks like.
Yeah, -7 for me and Tyler is pretty underwhelming. I don't know if we've shot that bad, maybe ever, especially with decent weather.
What was the course like as far as, was it muddy? What's the overall snow accumulation on that course right now?
Yeah, there was still snow. It was crystally, if that's a way to describe snow, because it had been rained on. I went no ribbons. We didn't really spend any time looking for discs, but there was still snow on a lot of the course, especially in the woods where a lot of sunlight hadn't hit it. But it was just crunchy enough where discs didn't really bury themselves. I think a few people may have lost discs on the day, but it wasn't crazy. And, there was some wind, but it was warm out. Tee pads were all good. Really no like weather excuses for playing bad, if that makes sense.
Round 2 was mostly clear, 45.2 degrees Fahrenheit with 12-mile-an-hour winds. So, and the tee pads, I assume at this point, are probably as good as they get.
Yeah, they were a little wet, but they were fine.
Are they slippery in general, would you say?
Only
1 or 2.
17.
Yeah, 17.
Yeah, 17 can be brutal.
Gotcha.
Gene's already on it. He's looking to redo some of the tee pads this summer.
That fucking Gene, man. The guy's a beast. Mm-hmm. All right. Alex, how'd you and Sam do?
Well, we started on hole 10, which is, our classic start. We struggled a bit on that first hole. First shot, not too bad. Second shot, not good. Third shot, not good. Then missed a long putt. So took a bogey there. It happens. A lot of golf left. Our second hole, hole 11, we both end up off the fairway, don't quite recover, take a bogey there as well. Again, it happens. It's not ideal. But when your opponent goes par and you go bogey, you're not feeling good. Hole 12, we both hit trees off the tee and we take another bogey. And that's really, you're starting to get concerned at that point. You're 3 strokes back after 3 holes. Birdie on 13, that's feeling all right. Par. And then we bogey 16. Par 17, bogey 18. we took 5 bogeys on the back 9. If you took myself and any random person you get in random draw doubles, like weekly, you don't get 5 bogeys on the back 9. Same for Sam. Like both of us alone could have played the back 9 far better than we did as a doubles pair, which is very frustrating. But, still 9 holes left. We can do what we can. And we end up getting 8 out of 9 on the front 9. We only missed hole 2. This sort of leaning into what you were talking about before with, and what was Randy was talking about before with the luck-based aspect of it. But, they only needed a handful of birdies at that point to lock us out. So 6 down to 4 down with 5 bogeys for us is, 4 down is not where you want to be as myself and Sam. Very frustrating, especially when you start looking at the final results. But, every once in a while you have an off day. Sam and I had a little bit of discussion trying to figure out, what we can do better for next time. Unfortunately, our only remaining Stony Kill home match is for Chatham Hills, which isn't going to be relevant for anything. But, we can always try to be better.
Looks like Megan Mercier and Kat Bemis got a win. Nick Terralavoro and John JP, don't call me Josh Hafner, got a win. Joe Jelinas and Connor Eckhart got a win. Alden Slack and John Tamburino got a win.
Joe Jaskolka and Brett Racine versus Keegan Whalen and Trevor Howe was the last match out there. And if they had won their playoff, it would have forced an overall playoff. You can really feel the tension when everybody's sitting there waiting. And unfortunately, they're out on like 10, 11, 12 as their playoff holes. I think they finished on 13. Nobody wants to go out there because it's such a long walk. But just stressing waiting for that. At least we had the whiteboard to see all of the other results come in, so I didn't have to stress over everything. But that was a bit of a rough time. It's obviously not on them. Any of these doubles teams probably could have played a little bit better and gotten a win, but that's how it goes.
I didn't even think of that because I was thinking the difference was 5 points, so one flip wouldn't have made a difference, but I forgot you guys already had a point in single. So any of those goes the other way, and that's a whole different ball game.
Yep. But, that's how it goes.
Yeah. They got you guys 13-8 for a total of 23-19. Put you at 1-5. So what does this mean in the D pool, the greater scheme of things? Finals is out the window because it looks like even the 4th place team has 3 wins, and the best you can do is 2-5. But you can avoid relegation. What are the scenarios?
So the 4 teams that can be relegated at this point are Newton Hill, Wedge, Stony Kill, and the Crane Toads. Of those, Wedge and Stony Kill have the best tiebreakers. Basically, we need to get to 2 wins, so we absolutely need to beat Wedge. If we beat Wedge, then we'll definitely have a better points percentage than them, and we'll definitely be safe. If we don't beat Wedge, then we will definitely be relegated. That's basically the only thing that we need to worry about. As far as if we win, it's going to be between Newton Hill and Wedge for who gets relegated there. And Newton Hill's got 2 tough matches coming up. So if Newton Hill loses their 2 matches, then chances are they'll be the ones relegated other than Wedge. But yeah, Crane Toads for sure. And then one of Newton Hill, Wedge, and Stony Kill, depending on how these last few matches go.
So you don't want to avoid relegation to the detriment of Wedge. But of course, obviously if it's them or you got to win.
Exactly.
But you win, and right now you've got a much better points percentage over Wedge and Newton, and Wedge has a slightly better over Newton. So if you guys win and it's close, the Fig Newtons, it just makes me laugh. If they lose both of their matches, did you already say who they're playing?
I don't think I've told you, but Newton Hill has a match against Bare Bottoms, which is the 2nd place team. That's the team from Vermont that's been doing very, very well. And then they've got a neutral versus the Bammers, which the Bammers is also a pretty much locked into finals. And they've got a pretty good points percentage as well. So if Bammers beat Newton, the Bammers versus Newton neutral is going to be the one that is super relevant for other people, I guess.
Are they locked in the finals? I see them at 3-2. So if they lose to Newton and they have another match,
I guess if they lose to Newton by a significant amount.
Oh, because their points percentage, I see what you're saying. Okay, I forget about the points percentage.
Yeah, their points percentage is good enough that I think they're definitely not locked in, because if they lose, 32-0, then they could lose. But yeah, their points percentage makes me think that's going to be the 4th finals team.
Well, if they lose both and Newton wins both, right? They could be 4-3 to 3-4.
Definitely true. True.
So, I'm just playing out all the scenarios. But the ideal scenario would be the Fig Newtons to get crushed and Wedge and Stony Killers both avoid relegation.
Exactly. That's the number one scenario.
Okay.
Nice people. They came down. Hopefully we can get back some of the discs they lost in the slushy snow, which is looking like a good thing. Apparently Travis went out and he's picked up at least 13 discs, I think he said, just from walking around the course because all the snow melted today. But yeah, nice people and, good luck at finals.
The Wedge match, is that locked in as far as when and where?
Yep. We were talking today. Definitely going to be March 21st, which is not this weekend, but the next weekend. And we're looking to play Wilcox. We're just locking in what layouts we want to play. I think we're leaning towards shorts for singles and then hatchet shorts for doubles.
All right. So our final matchup for the weekend, we had the Devens Misfits at the Lemonheads. Devens has another team, though, right?
I think so. I forget what pool they're in. Does anybody know?
They might be an E by this.
Devens, yes, they're in fourth place currently in the E pool.
So it makes sense to me that this is the Misfits, as in the people who aren't on that team.
But that was a pretty good team at one point, Jaimen. They're just falling.
Yeah. I don't know where the players have gone, but they were in B pool 3 or 4 years ago, pretty recently.
All right. So this was at J Park.
So this was our floater match, not a neutral match. It's a home match, but it was up to us to schedule it. We had a bye in March. Their bye, I believe, was February. So we agreed to do it early in March, only 2 weeks, I think, after our last match. We're 4-1 coming into this. I believe they were 2-2. Talking to their captains, they were going to be coming in at 18-3, and we were looking pretty solid at 20-2. And they let me know that they thought it would be really cool if we had 3 ladies to be able to play, which so do I, but you can't always control these things. Amber and CK were definitely coming, as usual, long distance coming through for us. It seemed like Juliet might be able to play, but as the week went on, it turned out that wasn't going to be possible. Amber messaged me the night before the match to let me know that her ankle still isn't 100%, but she was down to play as long as she could have somebody on the card to help her out, which no problem. And I kind of half-jokingly said back, hey, if you know anybody last minute who would want to be a Lemonhead for a day, we could use a third lady. She said, I'll think about it. Messaged me a little while later and said Kat Cha-Cha is down to play, which my first thought was, that's awesome. My second thought was, I think she's on disc captains. And I looked at the roster and she had played for disc captains this year, and ladies can play up but not down. So I was like, I don't think she's allowed to. And Amber was said, oh, bummer. And then 2 minutes later, she messaged back and said that Kat told her she's not actually on the disc captains roster and she does sub and it is cool. And I checked with Bryant because he's easily reachable and he confirmed that. So we had our third lady and Kat Cha-Cha was our newest Lemonhead.
Jaimen, did they break a rule?
Nope.
All right.
They're right. That's the way it works is, so Kat has been filling in for us this year, but there hasn't been a whole lot of need for that. So she was never rostered for us for this year. So she's basically a free agent. She can play in literally any team.
I think he said that if she had played for another Pip West team this year, she maybe couldn't, but that obviously didn't happen. So
This is just one of those differences, I would imagine, between the two. Like, I don't think that couldn't happen in New York, right?
Yeah, there's nothing like that in New York.
Okay. All right. So I just saw a name on here that freaked me out for Devens. Tony Marino. I went to high school with a Tony Marino.
He did mention you.
You said these guys were, what, 2-2 going in?
2, yeah.
So what was the thought process, Tim? Like, what's the stratagems?
Well, I did my normal research on everything. We kind of coached everybody up right before we did a little pep talk before, like, if we get another big win, this almost guarantees us first place. And it makes it a lot harder for them because they're currently sitting in fourth. And I think Flat Rock is right behind them. And I think their next match is with Flat Rock, if I'm not mistaken. And that determines pretty much who gets into finals. And when we talk to the team real quick, let's not put any pressure on us, but the better we do, the easier it is for us and the harder it is for them. So going into matchups, I felt really good based on the strategies we've had for the last few matchups. And this is the first time another team came with narratives about all of us. They had 4 pages of of sentences about all of us. And they were using their code terms like, hey, what do you think about 17 here and 14? And it was very funny to watch the 3 of them talk together and go through their 4 different pages and read things. And some of their matchups are like, oh, I'm a little nervous about, did you see that last sentence here? Did you read that? So it was kind of funny to see how, a different team does different things.
And Tim and Evan try hard.
Yeah, all right, exactly. And the two of us are sitting there just like, we play good disc golf. Honestly, matchups went awesome. I think we really locked up a lot of the places that we wanted to. The one thing I will say, Nick Cardone showed up and texted us out on his way saying he was going to have his Jordan flu game. Apparently he was a little under the weather.
He looked rough.
He did look pretty terrible. We kind of knew that. He was a lower Nick than he normally is.
We also had 2 extra men compared to them, so it ended at 20-3, and they had 18-3. So we had to have 2 people sit out in the first round.
And both Brian Monahan and Eric Struna had volunteered to sit in the first round just based on their being good people and also based on the numbers as well. So it made sense that for singles, those 2 sat. So.
Did you know going into the match, Evan, whether or not you had made finals or no?
I know we talked about this last time. I said I hadn't really crunched the numbers, and maybe somebody can show me how to do that. I felt the worst we could come out of this would be 4-2, and didn't seem to be any way that we wouldn't be in the top 4. So feeling good and confident, like Tim said, wanting to do well to give ourselves as much advantage as we can going into finals. But I'd say, the mood was good.
Tim, what about your match? You played Logan Kuzmich?
Kuzmich, yeah. So that actually was a match. I threw myself out, and I had after I threw myself, Justin was next to me because he was doing the TC Whiteboard. And I said, I'm like, I hope I get Logan because he's their top rated player. I think he was like 952 rated. I'm like, that's what I want because in all of my other situations where I've played well, it's always been when I figured I had no chance. So I really just wanted to take the top guy off the card and get a chance to see how good he played. I learned 3 things from this match. Right off the bat, we started on, I forget which hole we started on 32. So 32, 8, and then going into 9. I was up 1 going into 9, and I had a birdie putt. And Logan missed his putt, so I knew he was taking a par, and I had probably like a 25-footer. And I realized that I need to have that decision-making a little bit better. I need to have a little bit more of a killer instinct, I think, because at that time I was half between laying up and just taking the push because if I had missed the basket, I was going into the creek probably on 9. And I kind of just lofted it up, and it was straight on. Logan even said halfway there, he goes, "Yep, it's in." And I just didn't put enough on it because I was between laying up and making the putt, and it caught a nub and bounced out, and I flopped out and I took one. And I wish I had just made a decision and not just kind of threw it up there. Because if I just put a little bit more on that, I would have gone up another 1. I would have been going in 2 up through the first 3 holes, and probably just would have given a little bit more boost. So I did realize that. Another instance happened later on too, where Logan hit a tree off the tee, and I just didn't execute. And I realized that it was just because I was like, okay, I just need to get this up the hill. I don't really need to push too hard. And I think if I just given myself a little bit more confidence and a little bit more like, no, you need to hit this line and you need to boost it, I probably would have done a little better. But the match itself, I thought I played really well. I mean, there were 2 holes that were just abysmal by me, and that's kind of where he took the lead. And he ended up winning 3-1. But the other thing I realized is in this match was I always go back to like what Corey's difference between AMs and pros is like when you're not on the tee or you're not putting, like the in between, and making smart decisions. And I don't think I made any dumb decisions. I think I was trying too hard for a few of the shots, and that screwed me up. So it's not just about making dumb decisions. It's about still being smooth and easy, even when you're trying to hit a line that may be a little bit more difficult. So I think those are the things that I took away from that. I think the last thing I took away is that I can kind of hang with, better players as long as I'm putting my mind to it. So that was pretty nice. The one thing I will say about Logan that was pretty incredible in this round is on hole 18, he just kind of stands up and goes, I don't feel too good. And then just starts puking all over the fairway. So come to find out, he thought he had food poisoning.
What hole? I was just there. Did I step in it?
You might have. Were you right in the middle of the fairway?
What hole?
18.
Oh, no. I didn't go back there, but I'll look for it tomorrow.
Yeah, it's all over right in the middle of the fairway down 18, below the rocks.
Corey's never seen the middle of the fairway in 18, so
there is no fairway on 18.
Boom, roasted.
Yeah, that was multi-roasted. I got roasted so hard that no one's roast actually came through.
I'm telling you where it was. Big pine tree on the right.
Yeah.
First one.
Oh, I know what you're
First one.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about, Jaimen.
Wait, Jaimen, how do you know that?
Oh, I came and hung out.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to the match and bringing some of the disc captains. That was cool.
That was very cool. So he just started throwing up, and he stands up and then just throws a great forehand to the top. So even though he had food poisoning and was throwing up, he didn't really play like he had food poisoning and he was throwing up. He still played really well. And I guess in the second round, spoilers, he, as the team said, he played almost perfect that played against him. So he was a really good player, younger guy, played really, really well. But it was a good round. Honestly, I felt good about my round.
All right. And Evan, you played Joel Reed. Any relation to Dwayne Reed?
It didn't come up in conversation.
Okay. Might have got your prescription filled. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was against Joel on card with Kat Cha Cha. She was playing against Allie. We started on 31. Joel and I had a good match. Joel's a nice guy, pretty solid player. I don't know where. I kind of always admit this. I didn't really know where he was on the heat map. I just trusted Tim's going to...
940.
Okay, there you go. I will say he did not have ribbons, and it seemed like he had not seen the course. A lot of their teams stayed over. He didn't. He drove out that morning. But again, solid player. He got the first point on 8, but I got one back on 9. It was kind of back and forth. He took 13, and then I got the next 2. So then he got 19 and 20. So we're tied. Meanwhile, Kat and Allie were having a back and forth. Actually, a lot more pushing. And I think after hole 21, both matches were tied. So we knew we were not going to be first back for lunch. After that, Joel and I went back and forth on the next 4 holes. Hole 29, we're still tied. He had a tap in for a double bogey, and I had about a 25-footer for my double bogey. So big pressure putt that I was happy to step up and keep the match going. Finished on 30. I threw a great drive on 30. It was kind of windy. Not quite to the mouth, but just short and right in the middle. And he was left and kind of into the trees on the left. And I thought, man, I might just be able to lay this up and down. But he had a great scramble and went probably 9 feet long, made the putt. I did get up and down. I gave it a good bid. So we pushed. We split the match. Kat, meanwhile, on the last 4 holes, kind of put her foot down on the gas, and she ended up winning 2 up against Allie. She apologized to me after the match she's like, man, I'm so sorry. I played really poorly. I was like, you won, and I thought you played pretty well considering the conditions and how sloppy it was and how cold and wet our feet were. But we had a great time playing together. Super happy to have her on the team for the day. And, it was nice to come in with 1.5 points on the card.
Branden, Mike Pearson. How'd that go?
Dude, this guy was so unbelievably good for how bad his rating is. I was flabbergasted how good he was. I was like, dude, this is the worst player on this card for them? This guy is so much better. What's going on? He was a great guy. I had a blast playing with him. He was one of those kind of old school, I don't really care what's going on. I'm just here to have a great time sort of dude. And it's down to just compliment you, whether or not you're beating him or not. I think we started on hole 28, which was a brutal walk, but that's besides the point. He threw a pretty good tee shot. I threw an okay tee shot, and I just fluffed my upshot because I just wasn't super warmed up. And I bogeyed for no really good reason besides just fluffing my upshot, and he made his par, and he got 1 on me. Then I got a par on the par 429 coming out the woods. That felt good, but I don't know. I was just feeling snow really is just such a annoyance to me because I focus so much on my putt as a really good aspect of my game. And every time I just sort of have something off-putting, which is normally slipping in snow a little bit, it just sends my mind rolling into a different stratosphere. And it's just so bad for me a lot of the time. Where normally I feel I'm okay from 30 to 40. And I'm just sitting there, I'm this might as well be 100 feet, dude. We pushed a lot. I just made dumb mistakes a lot of the time. The big thing that happened here in the entire match was he parred hole 8 and I bogeyed it for no really good reason. I don't even know how you bogey that hole, but I was just how did I bogey? And then I bogeyed hole 13. It was kind of funny actually because I was just dude, what is going on with me? Hole 13 is the big wide open field hole on the big par 4. I'm trying to give them the whole breakdown as we go. I'm just yeah, dude, you don't want to rip it right. Don't go into the woods. That's OB. Immediately, not even 10 seconds later, I just rip a drive and I just full turn it over. I'm dude, and just go straight into the woods. I'm that's okay. We can still salvage a bogey here, and maybe he'll bogey too. Take my lie, throw 3, throw to a little bit in front of the mouse, and then immediately throw B into the mouth, go straight across the creek. I'm like, great. All right, so we're like throwing 6, probably gonna get a 7. All right, Mike, you got it. Yeah. He's like throwing 3 right in front of the mouth. I'm like, you don't need to show me that you're gonna get there in 4 shots. I believe you. I had Ross O'Toole and Jonathan Kingler on my card. Their matches were a lot more interesting than mine, in my opinion. Like me and Mike were like going blow for a while, and like he just kind of like got me in the end. I think like 26B, the like short forehand taking a left on the hole that has the fork or whatever. He threw a shot, hit a tree. I threw a forehand, hit a tree. It's funny. I think we're like literally 10 feet apart, right in front of the basket, probably like 80 feet away, is my guess. He has to go first, throws an upshot, hits like the tree right in front of the giant rock and like lands roughly in front of like the rock. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, you know, maybe I can like try to throw this in, or like if I miss and get up there, like maybe he can just like duff the putt because like he has to throw like 10 feet up in the air and he might mess it up. I like jump putt, hit the cage on the right, doesn't work out. He taps out, has a good putt. Great game. Super nice guy. So I don't know what Ryan's last name is, but Ryan S.
Shevlin.
This dude was crazy. Him and John were battling, and it was so crazy. All right, so you know how you throw your forehands, Pat? He kind of throws like that, right? Where like he's trying to like kind of ante it and have it come out.
Like an old man whose back is hurting? Okay.
Like,
yeah, no,
like so good.
if that's what you say. He would do that, but like it would like forehand cut roll like 50 feet up the fairway, and he did that 6 times in a row. And I was like, dude, what's going on? Then he would take his disc and like toss the sickest overhand tomahawk and just park the basket every time. Looking at John, I'm like, dude, if he just did this off the tee, this would be so much more of a problem. Eventually, he did start doing it off the tee, and it was a lot closer for John.
It's like me off the tee pad and then Cully from then on out. Is what you're saying.
It really, Pat, you're not, that is literally what it is. Like, it is literally was like just exactly how you imagine that playing out. That is exactly how it was.
And then eventually he said, you know what, Pat, just go home. Go sit in your car. Go get a beer or something. Yeah, no.
He really did, dude. Because, like, I'm surprised he did it so much because I was like, it's obviously snowy. This is not working out. You need to do something different. And then eventually he started, like, actually just doing it off the tee. Like, that is so much better. We weren't sure about the rules or whatever, Evan and Tim, about the snow things. I know we ended up playing just treat it as lost disc, right?
Yeah.
So on hole 24, I think, right? 24 is the really, really long par 3 where you kind of like shoot over the rock and have to end up a little bit right. John throws the like shot, hits a tree like maybe like 50 feet off the tee pad, kicks to the left, and we lose it, right? Like it's like over some rocks. We can't find it. We spend like a good amount of time. Ryan throws a tomahawk straight down the middle, 200 feet, you know. He's got a pretty easy up and down, I would say. I don't know if John told you this, you guys, but John literally like went to the tee pad, re-teed, and then threw past the basket on that hole and pushed it like 150 feet to the right of that basket. I was like, dude, what did you just do? How did you throw so far past the basket on your re-tee? And we found it like almost like near like the creek back there. And I was just like so flabbergasted.
No, I didn't hear that before. He told us more about what he did in the second round with his lost disc than in the first.
Ah, damn. You missed that, dude. It was like the most insane shot I've seen in a while.
All right. Well, it looks like Kevin Newen, Josh Lee, Joe Riley, Amber Stout, Mike Thomas, Justin Hickok, Jacob the Butler Bethel, Jack King Kirby, Joe the correspondent Karen, Evan mentioned Kat got her win, Ross O'Toole, and Jonathan Klingler all got wins. You guys are 12.5 to 8.5 after one. It's your home match, so any notables on the spread? Evan, anything that you had? I know you don't eat a lot, but...
Bunch of guys pitched in and got a 6-foot sub that must have been good because by the time I got back, it was probably 2/3 gone. And I did get a piece. It was very good. I made strawberry cake and Mike Schwartz showed up, I think mostly for that. Maybe to get a banner from Struna too, but
you got to have a backup story to go for the cake.
Mike and I were talking about the cake because he's been also making that recipe and kind of playing with it and experimenting and sending me pictures of his failures, which is funny. But yeah, spread was great. Everybody did a great job. You're absolutely right. I didn't eat a ton, so you can ask these guys what they saw and had.
You think I ate anything?
What'd you bring?
I was one of the pitchers in of the sub, and then I had, like all season, I did the utensils and condiments.
Where was the sub from?
Cardona's.
There you go. Shout them out.
Shout them out. Cardona's.
That's cool, because if you said Subway, I was going to like, what's it, like 4.5?
There's a funny story about I'm standing there and I hear somebody talking about they wanted to ask us if they could grab lunch. And they're like, oh, I think some of that Subway sub is left. And like I turn around to like kind of like, how dare you call that Subway sub? But it was Tim Giardini, so I let it go.
And I think we should shout out, am I correct that it was Jacob's girlfriend who picked it up and brought it to us?
Yes, we should 100% give the butler's girlfriend picked it up for us and delivered it to J Park, so we didn't have to pay a $200 delivery fee. So big shout out to her.
And Pat Jaimen was there, so maybe he could ask him what he thought of the spread.
He'd like the mac and cheese.
Nice.
I was not really eating much. I was kind of hanging out next to the sweets table and talking to people. So I did try the strawberry upside down cake. It was delicious. And the other thing I ate was Kevin's wife made these like cinnamon swirl blondies that were like really good. They tasted kind of cheesecakey.
Those were really good.
Those were good, yeah.
Yeah, I was doing everything I could not to eat, just like a bunch of those and then leave.
Branden, anything of note?
We were on this threesome, so when I came back, all my food was gone. So I took pride in that. I was like, well, at least somebody enjoyed this to some degree.
What'd you make?
I made the pork belly with rice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was good.
And it was gone. And I was like, damn, dog. I mean, like, that's fine because, like, I was on the threesome. I was expecting, Josh Lee just, I know he hounded it down on me like a jerk. And I spread is good, Subs at Team Challenge, underrated. That was great.
Yeah, it worked out well. We had, I think it was a 6-foot sub that had 6 different options in it. So every foot was a different type of sub. So we had turkey, ham, roast beef, veggie. I forget what the other one was.
Italian, maybe.
Oh, yeah, Italian mix, yeah. So every foot was a different sub.
Did we steal that idea from Wilcox? Do we need to give them props?
I'm going to argue that was 6-foot subs, not a 6-foot sub.
Well, it came, yeah,
They
that's
get it from
true.
Subway.
Yeah, that's true. It was a big sub.
And I mentioned it earlier, I did graduate with a Tony Marino, but this guy spells it like Dan Marino, Marino. The guy I know is Morino. He's the Aaron Andrews for Army football. If you ever watch an Army football game, he's on the sideline.
Oh, cool.
He's been doing it for like 20 years.
That's Tony.
Tony.
Shout out Tony.
Yeah.
Shout out, Tony.
All right. So you guys are up 4 points going into dubs. Jacob and Ian beat Tony and Rich. Kuzmich, who we've already heard about.
That's actually his dad.
Is Tony's dad?
No, Rich
Rich
is Logan's dad, yeah. I played the younger version of Rich.
Oh, okay. I got you. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Well, Brian Monahan was back. How'd that go?
Yeah, he came back and we set up to play dubs. Honestly, we didn't play the best round that we've played, but it was definitely one of the best ham and eggs rounds that we've ever had. If one of us hit a tree or had a bad shot, the other one was able to have a great shot to follow up. But it was a round that after the second hole, we both kind of realized we were playing against ourselves. Donnie and Ryan both were total forehand players. I think Donnie threw one backhand the entire time, and neither one had more than 150 to 200 feet of distance. So on the south side, that definitely played a little bit more in Brian and my favor. We started on 33, and Brian hit a huge, probably 80-foot putt that gave us a birdie and put us up 1. And then on 34, my drive was pretty much down to the corner of the tennis courts, and they were throwing their third shot at the same time where we were throwing our second. And I kind of said to Brian, I'm like, we need to not lay up. We need to just continue to play our game, even though it's just going to be pretty much us against ourselves. And that's what it ended up being. We ended up winning by 9 strokes. So it was a good round. Like I said, we picked each other up really well. We were both putting okay. We had some dumb mistakes, but it was a good round. A lot of fun.
So you guys played a couple pats with no Cully to back them up.
Yeah, I saw 2 or 3 Ryan tomahawks. He threw one of them, and I was like, okay, he should do that a lot more because it was impressive. But he only did like 2 or 3 of them, and 2 of them didn't work out very well.
All right, Evan. Ooh, the killer E's. How'd that go?
That was great. I didn't necessarily know who I was going to be playing with. First thought, I'm aware of the fact that Eric and I are bottom of our depth chart. It is what it is. But I'm also thinking about the fact that in the Ice Bowl, we just played pretty well in MA1. Feeling good. Eric, again, sat out in round 1 because we had extra people. So in round 2, Terry Hudson sat, and who else? Devin Lamke sat out in round 2. So Eric and I were starting on 8 against Kyle and Ben, who were 2 of their captains. Cline, you said you're not sure how you can bogey on 8. I'll let you know it's possible even in doubles sometimes because we did that. So we lost a stroke right there. But Eric and I then got pars on the next 9 holes. Tim mentioned ham and eggs. We had the same vibe going. Both just playing relaxed, having fun. Kyle and Ben had a real kind of almost like a comedy duo kind of vibe where Kyle was just like shit talking Ben the whole time about how short he is and how bad he is. And it was funny, but it made things really relaxed. Along the way, those guys bogeyed on 33, so we were tied up. Then we got to 36. Those guys got a bogey, but we got a double, so we're down 1. We both parred 1 and 2. Hole 3, we took a bogey, and they got a double, so it's tied up again. Get to hole 4, Kyle hit a long putt for a birdie. We got our par, so they're up 1. Get to hole 6, somehow my insanity went to the right and hit nothing and went really far, not quite pin high, but off to the right. Those guys were way short on the left. They had a good upshot, but we're still outside circle. I tried to flex around the last little tree to get to the basket, hit that tree, and kicked off to the right. Eric's lining up beforehand, and before I could even say, hey, maybe consider looking this way, he let it go through just the tiniest gap and went probably 15 feet past the basket. A great shot, and I didn't even hesitate to have him go and step up to that putt. His putt was smooth. That one was easily in. We got our par. They took a bogey. So it's tied. We're going to hole 7. It's the last hole. My shot was kind of not too bad, but it got in kind of the first little crevice of the rocks on the right. Eric threw a great forehand that was straight, kicked one of the trees, and just kind of dropped down there on the left side where the rocks are. Kyle and Ben were both super short. At this point, we had a couple of people watching us. Kyle and Ben both threw their up shots and hit trees. So they had to go and throw their third shots right up to the basket. So they're looking at a tap in bogey. I went first, threw a nice approach, kind of just left, chain high, hit the little embankment, but stays in bounds. Eric threw a nice shot, little forehand, probably 15 feet. So we're walking up thinking, okay, Ben even said like, hey, good match, guys, thinking we're going to make this putt. But, with the match on the line, it's not a gimme. Eric walks up, bag on, starts to bend down. I'm like, all right, take your time, and kind of looks over his shoulder like, yeah, okay. Picks up the disc he just threw and just nonchalantly tosses it in. Makes the putt. We won the match by 1. We come back in. Everybody was chanting his name. It was his first point of the year, which was pretty exciting. People were watching on the whiteboard, following and watching us kind of come back. Come to find out, he thought we were already winning. He didn't really think the putt mattered. So with no pressure on his mind, it was like a no-brainer. But it was really, really fun playing with him. It was a good match, and it was a nice win, and one of many in doubles for us that day.
Branden, you play with Kevin. How'd that go?
Josh is like my homie in the sense that like I like playing with him, but as a partner, Kevin is the best. Kevin just like picks you up and he's just like, what do you need? I'll lace it for you whenever you're like a little bit short. I didn't realize this. Did you guys mean to put us against some of their better players, Tim?
No, I'm not going to lie. The first 8 matchups or whatever, I felt amazing about. And then I kind of I was tracking who they had left. And I realized the last 2 matches were going to be tough. I knew that Paul and Logan was going to probably be the top match. So shout out to Justin Hickok and Patrick Jeffries for taking that on. But I kind of knew that yours was going to be tough, but I kind of had a lot of faith in Kevin. I knew Kevin was better than Joel and Bill, so I wasn't too worried about it.
I am the backup in this scenario. I am there to make Kevin shine, and I understand that is my role, and I'm here to do it. I'm like, Kevin, just give me to 50 feet, and I can easily get you an up and down so you can just run it, or, I'm making the putt for you a lot of the time. And that's like 100% the role I fill for Kevin, and that's all he needs. He just needs somebody to be like, yeah, dude, just like hit some insane like putts or like, decent fairway shots, and like I can just rip.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of interesting because I understand it was like kind of do and die for this team. I think I said this in the group chat. Like we ran into some like awkward things where like the older gentleman Bill, I wouldn't call it like fully unsportsmanlike, but like, dude, like you can relax. You'll probably play a little bit better if you relax a little bit. I think we're like on hole 8 and Kevin like ripped his DD3 roughly past the last tree you want to get past on that hole. And like, we just can't find it, because it's just underneath the snow. It's too slushy. And me, Kevin, and his partner Joel are like looking for it. And eventually Joel finds it, but like Bill's just kind of like sitting there. And I understand like he's an older dude. He's probably like a little bit tired, but like he was not putting any sort of effort into like finding this disc. And like, I got that vibe that like he was just like hoping like we just get a little unlucky with like out finding disc. Like I think that happened like 2 other times in the match of dude, what's going on? Let's just like play disc golf. It's definitely been the most awkward vibe I've kind of dealt with. And again, I understand it's kind of do or die for them. They're trying to win. They know that if they want to get into like finals and stuff, they got to win this match. And like, I didn't even realize this when we play them, that they are one of their better players. So like, they're probably certainly hoping to like play this. And Kevin even said, he's like, Bill saw how good Kevin was. He probably just like, oh, I need to like lock in a little bit more because Kevin's obviously very good and can throw very far and like really like give him a run for his money. But we just played solid for like most of the round. We held, I think, about the same score. I think we like went up to like +1 and then even for a while. Them just being unfamiliar with J Park, they bogeyed and then they bogeyed. And I think we just like birdied like the few last holes to like kind of solidify it and all. I don't know. It's a good time. I love playing with Kevin. Like Kevin has great drives and I think shine when I'm within like, an 80 feet to 50 feet putting range. And Kevin does that for me a lot, and it's great to have him. To add a little context to Evan's match, at the end, we were the people that showed up to watch. And I didn't realize how close that match was with you guys, but it was like super crazy to watch you and Struna like kind of get up and down for par. And then when they both hit that tree for their upshots, I was like, oh, that sucks. I didn't realize I was like, wow, that really sucks. They just completely like just slam into like this tree and have like a 60-foot putt to try to like put it in. See, I didn't know what your opponent's names were. Like Ben or Kyle, like one of them almost like put it in. They skipped it off the top of the basket. I was like, wow, this was a lot more dramatic than I thought. I thought we were just like kind of chilling and having a fun time.
All right, so it looks like Kat and Krista got a win. They got the star, I guess that's for the best women's dub score. Ian and Jacob got a win. Amber Stout and Mike Thomas, the best mixed pair. How's Amber? How's her knee?
Her ankle is still pretty sore. She, again, asked to make sure that Mike was on every card with her, which we made sure was possible.
Nice.
But I think she's doing better, but yeah, still sore.
I mean, when they're matched by 9 strokes, so I think she's doing okay. Yeah. Jonathan Klingler got a win. Josh Lee and Jack King Kirby. The Joes, Joe Karen and Joe, I don't give a fuck, Riley got a win. And it looks like 17-4 in dubs for an overall win of 29.5 to 12.5.
Yep.
So basically, you were pretty certain to get into finals. That just guaranteed it, right? That was your last match, right?
Yeah, that's our last match. That locks up first seed as far as I can tell. We got 62% points on the year and no one left to play. I guess Pyramids could jump us as I look at the board here. They could go 5-1 and they're playing Stony Brook. So maybe first place isn't locked up, but it feels good right now.
Yeah, worst case scenario is second place. If they win by an overwhelming margin, maybe they pass you. But at this point in the year, gaining 10 points in points percentage would be pretty tough. When's finals?
April 11th at Oakhome.
Yep.
All right. So you guys are done for a month.
Yeah, and give Amber's ankle a chance to rest.
Devin Lamke sent me some information. I'd like to do a quick fire round.
Okay, sure.
I'm good.
It's called Top 5. So what we're going to do is we're going to just go through. You'll have like 10 seconds. He messaged me a week or so ago, and he basically did the Tim. He sent UDisc a request, and UDisc sent him a ton of information. Tim, you're going last because you've had some information. From what I understand, this is all disc cap stuff. The order is going to be Eric, Randy, Evan, Alex, Tim. I'm going to ask you a question based on a specific hole in disc cap. Answer the question. It's like a Family Feud. We're doing top 5. There's 5 of you. So if you pick the number 1 answer, you get 5 points. Number 2 answer, 4 points. 3, 2, 1. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go through each question twice. So we're going to go Eric, Randy, Evan, Alex, Tim, Alex, Evan, Randy, Eric. So you each will have 2 chances to get in the top 5. I'm just trying this out.
Let's go.
So Eric.
I'm here.
What is the shortest hole in disc cap? I need a course name and a hole number.
It would be Colonial Acres, hole number 1.
That is not on the list.
It's definitely in UDisc. There might just be shorter holes.
It's like 150 something feet. It may not.
Then it wouldn't be. All of these are under that. Okay.
All right.
Bam, bam, bam.
Randy, shortest hole in disc cap.
J Park 13 white. No. Sorry, I said the wrong number. 14 white.
J Park, did you say?
Yes.
I'm sorry, no.
Dang.
Evan.
Show me Blatnick 13.
I thought it was starting out easy. I don't have Blatnick on here. Alex.
I mean, I was going to say Stony Kill hole 5, but that seems like it's in this range of all the other ones that people are saying. So I don't know. I'll go Stony Kill hole 5 because that's what was in my head.
103 feet, 5 points to Alex.
Oh, really?
Damn.
How we take those?
So that's the longest one? Or
That's the shortest
The
one.
shortest.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, Tim, shortest hole in disc cap.
Crandall hole 1.
That is number 7, 125 feet. Tim, but you get a second guess. What do you got? Our range is between 103 and 125.
All right. So it's got to be a Saratoga hole. Saratoga. Which one is it?
Thought he gets 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
5, 2.
Yeah, you're right.
What do you got?
8. 6A.
Saratoga?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, no. Alex, shortest holes in disc cap.
What about Heiser hole 3?
Do not see it. No. Evan, I got everybody scared.
I'm doing well. I'm feeling good.
Oh, what about CPS 11 white or 11 short? Right? Is that white?
115 feet. It's the 4th, so it's worth 2 points.
I was going to say, that's a good answer.
Thank you.
Randy, we got 3 left.
Colonial 9 red.
Good answer. Good answer.
I do not see it.
Bam, bam, bam.
All right.
That's the shortest hole in that
Yeah,
course.
that's
So
wild.
it's crazy that none of the reds from there are on this list.
Eric, what do you got?
I literally can't. Rapid fire. I can't think of the holes that short.
Think of a whole B Cline jump putts on.
Literally, all that one you said, and that's it. Like a
Yeah.
whole, everything. I'll
And
say
I saw him
Prospect
ace it,
hole
too.
I'll say Prospect hole 6, just because I know it's too long. But
All right, I'll give you guys the top 10 and tell me what you think. I got Jenkinsville hole 17, 135, Central Park 12, 129, CTK 6, 129, Crandall 1, 125, Jenkinsville 6, 123, Thacher 5, 115, Central Park 11, 115, CTK 14, 114, Jenkinsville 5, 113, and Stony Kill 5, 103.
Short. Yeah. All red. I didn't think about Thatcher or CK short.
I see it now. I see it.
So who got points there? Alex got 5.
Alex got 5 points. Evan got 2 points. Round 2, we're going to be constantly shifting this. So, Randy, you're going to get the first pick. What is the longest hole in disc cap?
Go with maybe the obvious one, 12 at Heiser Creek.
Number 10, 688. Evan, longest hole in disc cap.
It's going to be one or the other. So let's go with Greenville 18.
I don't have Greenville on the top 10.
He probably still has that set to private.
Ah.
Yeah, that might not be on there.
It's
Oh, well.
UDisc and it's also what is considered disc cap. You know, so there's 2 things we got to consider here.
Okay. Well, I just helped everybody else out.
Alex, longest hole in disc cap.
Let's go CTK hole 7 off the helipad to the tournament position.
Ooh.
I don't have that on here.
It might not be.
It
but
probably won't be in UDisc. It's probably PDGA because I don't think there's a layout with that in there, is there?
it might not be on UDisc.
Yeah, right. I
But
don't-
thank
yeah.
you for letting me picture that shot, though.
That's a great one,
It's
right?
a great shot.
It's a great shot.
I'm picturing guys doing that instead of ribboning their discs.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Tim, what do you got? Longest hole in disc cap.
I think I know this. I think it's the blue layout of South Hatchet hole 7.
So what course is that?
I'm sorry, Wilcox.
Blue Wilcox 7, blue to blue,
Yeah,
838 feet. Is that a par 3?
I think it's par 4.
It's,
It must be a 4. Either that or he doesn't believe in whoever
could
made
be a
the
5. It
layouts
could be a
doesn't believe
5.
in 3s.
It's showing 3 on here.
Oh, jeez.
Was that number 1?
That is number 1. So 5 points to Tim. Eric,
I want to go Wild Wild West Ranch hole 1.
I'm sorry, no.
Ooh, okay.
But you got another choice.
Another good shot to imagine.
I do love that hole actually. Damn. Something Mind Kill hole 1.
I'm sorry, no. Tim, your second pick.
All right. I think it's another Wilcox hole. I think it's the one previous. I think it's a South Hatchet blue to blue hole 6.
I'm sorry, no. Not even in the top 10.
Oh, it's over 600 feet.
Number 10 is 688.
Spoilers.
Oh, that's why. All right.
Alex, what do you got?
How about CPS blue 14 to the new basket?
758 feet, but number 6. Sorry.
Oh.
Come on.
Crap, that was going to be my answer, too.
Evan,
Oh, man. Can't even think of courses. I don't know. Flipping. It's wrong. J Park 13. It's not even close. I don't know.
not in the top 10.
No, I know it's not.
Randy,
Mind Kill hole 9. See how fast you can do this? You can just say it. You don't have to think about it.
Rapid fire.
Minekill is not in the top 10.
That's crazy.
how quickly you could be wrong. It's so easy.
Yeah, I mean,
you could
do
just
it.
say it.
Oh, what about Wilcox hole 4?
Tim
Blue to
picked
blue?
Wilcox, and Wilcox is in the top 10 6 times, and he didn't even pick
I didn't
one of
pick
them.
the other one. Yeah.
Dang.
Well, I picked one.
Yes, you did. Number 10 was Heiser 12, 688. Number 9, Wilcox 13, 695. Wilcox 14, also 695, so that's kind of a tie. B8 at Wilcox is 745.
Can I interject?
Yes.
Mind Kill must just not be on it because hole 9 is 800 feet.
I know Wild Wild West hole 1 is at like almost 800 feet, but that's not disc cap.
Central Park 14, 758. J Park 36, 795.
Oh,
J Park
obviously.
27, 795.
Come on.
Wilcox 10, 800. Wilcox 4, 815. And Wilcox
That was in my head
7,
too. Yep.
838.
Yeah. I don't know why I went with 6. I should have gone with 4. That was
I got to play 27 and 36 at J Park more so I don't forget them next time. Damn it.
Okay, Evan, what is the easiest to par?
In all of disc cap,
Yeah, it is 2.69 is its scoring average.
hole 9 at Prospect.
I'm sorry, no. Alex, what do you got?
About hole 8 at Stony Kill.
No, surprising. Tim,
hole 1 at Crandall.
number 4.
Nice.
That is 2.81, 0.19 under par. Eric,
I want to go Colonial, but I'm scared.
I will tell you it is on the list.
Oh, Skodan. Hole 1 at Colonial Acres.
It is number 10 on the list. Randy,
Hole 9 at Colonial Acres.
number 7 on the list.
All right.
Randy again.
I don't know Crandall. I wish I did. Hole 2 at Colonial Acres.
I'm sorry, no. Eric,
Hole 8 at Stephen P. Wallace.
sorry, no. Tim,
Hole 6 at Central Park, White.
number 9.
Ooh, really?
Good guess.
Alex,
Hole 13 at Stony Kill.
no Stony Kill in the top 10.
Dang.
And Evan, you started it, right? So you finish it?
Yep. Gonna go with hole 3 at Prospect.
Nothing at Prospect in the top
Yeah.
10.
I
That's
was
right.
thinking
I'm a
3
homer.
too, yeah.
Colonial Acres number 1 at 10, Central Park 6, Thatcher 2, Colonial Acres 9, Heiser 3, Thatcher 5, Crandall 1, Colonial Acres 8, Central Park 11, Jenkinsville number 5 with a 2.69.
Oh, Central 11. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Highest scoring par 4s, Alex and Discap.
Stony Kill, hole 10.
Number 5,
Hey, on the board.
Tim.
More.
J Park 36.
Number 2, so that's
Son of a
4
bitch.
points. Eric,
J Park hole 13.
not in the top 10. Randy,
Heiser 12.
I'm sorry, no.
Man, people are lying.
Evan,
Central 14.
no.
Ooh.
These are highest scoring par 4s. Evan, another choice.
How about SPW 14?
Sorry, no. Randy,
Thatcher 11.
Oh, good one.
I don't see
Oh,
it.
is that
no.
that stupid tree gap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric,
Did anybody say 17 Heiser?
I don't think so.
no, they
I
didn't.
like that one.
Is that what you'd like?
Yeah, is it on there?
It's number 4, 2 points to Eric.
Nice.
Yeah, buddy.
job.
Thanks, buddy.
Tim,
Wilcox Blue to Blue 3.
no. Alex, finish it off.
CTK, hole 11.
Sorry, no. Number 10, number 15, Heiser. Number 9, 11, Dove Creek. 2, Shenantaha. J Park 29. J Park 3. The ones that would have gotten you points. Stony Kill 10 is in 5th. Heiser 17 in 4th. Burbine 7 in 3rd.
Mm.
J Park 36 in 2nd. And Dove Creek 12 is number
Should
1.
have said 36. I know Tim said it, right?
I
Stony
did
Kill
say it.
10 is like a given. I don't know why I didn't think about that like right away.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Nobody else had a chance to say because I said it first.
You
So-
did
That's
Facts.
Yeah, that is-
Well, then that makes sense.
All right. So, Tim, you get to finish it off. We're going to go lowest scoring par 4s because that seems like a tough one. Lowest scoring par 4. I will tell you this, only 3 of them average under 4.
Hole 6 at Stony Kill.
I'm sorry, no.
Thank you for taking that out of my
Yeah,
question.
I took it because I knew you would, and I like,
Eric,
Prospect Park 16.
number 2. That's worth
Damn
4
it.
points.
Because I get it every
Nice.
time.
that's a good one.
Randy,
I feel like I'm going to say the wrong number. Prospect 8?
That's the right number.
Okay, thank you.
That is number 7 on our list.
All right.
Evan.
God, I was going to say Prospect 16, so I will say Central 4. I don't know. That's terrible.
I'm sorry, no. Alex.
Crap. All of my answers were taken. What do we got? Not going to be anywhere at Stony Kill. What's the one at White Elephant? White Elephant 13. I don't know I don't think that's the right answer, but.
I'm sorry, no.
Yeah, no worries. The
Alex
issue is now I
again.
have to go again and I still don't have an answer.
Alex, you got another guess.
What about hole 1 at Mine Kill? Green to green for sure.
All we're looking for is the whole number, but no, apparently Mine Kill's not on here very often. So that brings it back to Evan.
Oh, no. SPW 7. Probably not.
Even 17.
Oh, no. I was thinking of 6 then. Whatever. Just let me be wrong, damn it.
Randy.
Thatcher 14?
Thatcher's on here twice, but not 14. Eric.
Thatcher hole 1. Or did they change that shit?
Thatcher's on here twice, but not hole 1.
Yeah, I said it already. It's all right. It's all good.
And Tim, this is your victory lap because you've already won.
All right. So now that you said Thatcher's on there, can I ask are they both in you're saying they're both in the top 10?
No, you can't.
Just say what you think. Tim.
Okay, fine. I'm gonna go with what I think, and then you whatever. I think it's SPW 14. That's what I would get. That's what I wanted to guess before you started saying Thatcher.
I'm sorry, no, but what Thatcher would you have picked?
I would have said 12.
That would have been number 9.
Okay, so that would have done it.
So Heiser 14 was 10th, Thatcher 12 was 9, CTK 7, Prospect 8, CTK 7. Why is that on here twice? Oh, one is red to main and the other is blue to main. Wilcox 12, blue to blue. Central Park 13 is 4th, Thatcher 11, Prospect 16, and Wilcox 15.
Oh, okay.
So Thatcher 11, Prospect 16, and Wilcox 15 are the only 3 under 4. All right. So Tim, as expected, wins. He gets 10 points. But second place, which is really all that matters, because everybody knew Tim would win. He has all the information. Eric with 6 points.
What?
Alex with 5 and Evan with 2. So thank you for that.
I should have 6 points, right?
Did you get a oneer?
I had Stony Kill 5.
Oh, you got 6. Yeah, you're right. So you and Eric tied for second.
I'll still take it. I'll take it. That's cool.
After that recount, did I still beat Randy?
That's all that really matters.
Triple check here. Yes.
All
Randy
sick.
had
Nice.
0 points.
What? You said 10 for one of mine. Or we're not giving points for top 10?
It's only
5.
It's
Just
5.
top 5.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel bad now.
You got hosed.
Randy was robbed on the mine kill too, so
Yeah, that hole is like 900 feet,
Yeah,
actually. Yeah, I
no,
looked it up now.
Yeah.
File a protest with the league office.
Exactly. Any birthdays coming up?
Joey Harrington on the 15th. Oh, and Chris Dahl on the 15th.
Farad Coleman, a Beacon guy. Chris Dahl, the 15th. Did you say that?
I did, yeah, but he's worth shouting out twice.
Mhm.
All right, Chris Dahl.
Yeah, what about Chris Dahl?
Justin Matthews. That name sounds familiar. Is that a disc golfer?
He's a CPS guy, yep.
All right. Well, thank you, Alex, Corey, Randy, Tim, Evan, Jaimen, and thanks for coming on, Branden. Branden, did we resolve anything as far as Summer Battle Royale?
No, absolutely not. I mean, I don't know. It's like, it's just what it is. You have Alex, Jaimen, like everybody who like I would like want to have a great opinion about like the inner workings of just like local disc golf are all on this podcast. And I respect you guys a lot in your opinions. So I just wanted to like really just come on really fast and be like, how do you feel about this? Am I like crazy? Is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? Should like, kind of throw it up in the air? That's just what I wanted to do.
Just so you know, you can be crazy and have a good idea at the same time.
You can. Corey kind of shows that case that a little bit. I feel like every once in a while.
Yeah.
But,
All right. Well, sweet up, Hudson Valley.
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, everybody. I did want to show you guys one thing. This is my job for the next few months. I gotta pass these out. I did bag tags.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
That's pretty sweet.
That's sick.
I thought it'd be fun. It's for content. I had to come up with a way to number these tags to hand them out. And I decided on a formula. I did a very scientific formula.
is it whose tries the hardest?
No, because you would get the 50. I had 50 of them done. That's the last one.
The order of Patreon registration.
That is involved in it. But first priority goes to, people who come on here regularly. But here's the twist. Nobody's getting the one tag. One tag has to be earned through content.
Oh.
And that means you got to play matches. The one tag is literally hanging here. I already put it up. It's got to be kind of earned. Then I had to figure in Jason and Jaimen. Neither of these motherfuckers play tag matches ever. Like, if nobody's getting one, they should be 2 and 3, but they don't get 2 and 3.
There's a reason to outplay.
You got to entice them. See, this is fun now.
Exactly. So the number 2 tag, once I get it out there, it might be a year before I get there, is Corey. Corey gets the 2 tag.
Ooh.
I was going to say, this is going to be classic Jaimen. He'll just wait till I get the good tag, and then he'll beat me somewhere and then take it.
How do tags work in other places, Corey?
No, exactly like that, but you min-maxed it.
That guarantees there will be one match that Jaimen plays. So all I need is Jaimen to play one match. And with Corey with the 2 tag, it's a guarantee. Evan gets the 3 tag.
Ooh,
then I got Tim, Alex, Randy, Eric, then Jason and Jaimen. So that's the top 9 tags. Yeah, Corey, Evan, Tim, Alex, Randy, Eric, Jason, and Jaimen. Jaimen, your tag is below Eric's right now. Enough said. So you and Jason have to play a tag round. Branden, you got the 10 tag.
One off my number.
I don't get it.
My favorite number is 11. I was just disappointed. I kind of figured that.
Branden, you got the 11 tag.
I would love the 11 tag. That's my number.
The secret formula has been updated.
All right.
Yeah, my lucky number is 1.
Peter Hodge is now the 10 tag.
There you go, Peter.
That makes more sense
You're welcome.
anyways.
Definitely. 100%.
That was where it started, hit the Patreon level. And Branden, like I said before, signed up 5 minutes after Patreon started.
Peter Hodge is number 2 behind me?
I guess.
Interesting. I thought it was Kevin.
He's got the 12 tag. And then the other half of Camel Case, Corey has the 13. The other half of 9 Pin Cider has the 14. Mark Bryan, in case you were wondering. But I could go down the list, but I don't want to say too many numbers. That way, if I give the wrong tag, I don't get yelled at. But that's your top 13. Nobody at 1, Corey, Evan, Tim, Alex, Randy, Eric, Jason, Jaimen, Peter Hodge, Brandon Cline, Kevin Kroenke, and Brian Monahan. And obviously, if you're a Patreon, you'll definitely get a tag number. Or if you're a correspondent, maybe, not naming names, but yeah. So that gives me a reason to get out and play and or just travel a bit. I got 32. Well, technically, I have the 42 tag, so 33 tag. And that guarantees you don't want to lose to me.